All right, you guys ready? Let's take it live. Let's go. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, all right. Hello, we are live. Can you guys out in the chat, can you hear us? Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Gonna be doing some movie talking with some patrons tonight. It is Thank You Patrons Day, so thought it'd be cool to stream with some patrons and talk movies. So I am, of course, pizowell. Joining me tonight, I've got Gibbs, aka the Obsoletionist. How you doing, man? Let's do a. You should be able to say something, Gibbs.
Hello, hello.
All right. I think you guys in the chat can hear Gibbs. How you doing tonight, Gibbs?
I'm doing good to be dining at the Pizzle Hut. How are you, sir?
Very, very good. Very good. Very good.
Good deal.
Yes, doing very well. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a patron, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for all the content you give us, brother.
Appreciate that.
Here, here.
All right, Robbie Vinot in the chat. Apparently, okay, everybody can hear. Everybody can hear. Good. All right, also with me tonight, Stone Gassman. What's up, Stone? How you doing, man?
Oh, awesome. Ready to kick back and talk about some movies, enjoying some Yangling, my favorite beer.
Sweet.
Yep. So ready to have some fun here. Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah, we can't, for some reason, no Yingling in Kentucky. There's no Yingling distributor here in Kentucky. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Tough break, man. I love that stuff.
Man. We got to stick with the old school, man. We got Pabst Blue Ribbon and Bud. That's it. That's it. No, we've got a little bit more variety than that. But I don't mind some Pabst Blue Ribbon. You know, good stuff. But thanks for being a patron, Stone, and thanks for hanging out tonight, man.
My pleasure.
Also, with me tonight is Robbie Sobel. What's up, man?
Hanging in there. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. My elixir of choosing is coffee in my Dawn of the Dead mug in honor of the wonderful George Romero.
Very nice. Yes,
very nice.
What kind of coffee are we drinking?
This is French vanilla cream and 2 sweet and lows. Very manly.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, this is a special occasion. This is the first time I've ever drank out of this.
Yeah.
So, and breaking it in just for you, Piz.
I hear you. Yeah, there is some background noise, Jan, man. Christian, Devin, are you guys here?
I'm here. I'm here.
Is somebody in a car?
Yeah.
Oh,
not
Christian.
for long.
Okay.
Not for long.
Okay. Can you jump out and then jump back on when you get home?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man. There we go. There goes the background noise. All right, we're good. Also with me tonight is Jeff. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? Well, first, Robbie, thank you for being a patron. I appreciate it, and thanks for hanging out tonight, man.
Thank you.
Jeff, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I got my water bottle. Just simple. Yeah. I'm doing good. Just being bored, but hopefully the boredom will be good. Or the boredom will subside if I'm talking about movies. So
we'll hope so. You know, we'll all hang out. Yeah. And, you know, that might cure the boredom. Talking about some movies. But thanks for being a patron, man. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
And hey, isn't that Devon Graham? Is also here with us tonight. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, Piz? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. How's everything going?
Going good, man. I just watched Ginger Snaps. I really enjoyed it.
Watched it for the first time?
First time, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I like Ginger Snaps quite a bit. I've also seen the sequels, but I don't remember very much about them. So
I do want to check them out because I enjoyed Emily Perkins and Catherine Isabel. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be as good, but I'm willing to check them out at least.
Yeah. One of them is like a prequel that takes place in like the freaking 1800s or something. But it's got the same characters in it, so I don't know. I don't get it, but you know.
Right, yeah.
Whatever. But thanks for being a patron, Devin. And Devin, let me mention some other because Devin has got a YouTube channel. Robbie has just started his own YouTube channel. Gibbs, I've been trying to talk Gibbs into doing some.
It's coming back. It's coming back. I'm not sure if I'm going to wait till January to launch it or if I'm going to go ahead and start, in a month or so. But it's coming back. Okay.
Is it retro gaming related?
I'm gonna do kind of media in general, retro gaming and movies. Just kind of broaden it a little bit.
I understand.
But yeah, I'm just kind of working out some kinks there. Everybody feel free to go sign up and show some support, and we'll get it rolling.
Very nice, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, and Robbie's got his own channel. What's your channel name, Robbie?
It's Reviews and Rankings with Robbie Sobel. I started it about a month or so ago. It's been a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I originally went to a school for film editing and whatnot, so
nice.
Finally broke down and said, you know what, let me just give this a shot. Why not? And it's been a blast. It's kind of documentary style, so it's voiceover stuff with, video clips, and we dig into a lot of history that I go into. So it was good. The last big one I did was The Fourth Kind, the alien movie that came out about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and then with that, I did kind of a history of alien and UFOs in horror movies in general, and then tied it into that movie. So it's good. Great stuff, man.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've seen a number of your videos, man. You do a really good job.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And Devin Graham has his own channel as well. What's your channel name, Devin?
It's just called Hayes and That Devon Graham. My name is actually Andrew, and I know this is like our first time talking, so that's my name. But of course, the channel name is in reference to Halloween.
Yep. Hey, isn't that Devon Graham?
Yeah.
every time I see your name, I hear PJ Soul saying, "Hey, isn't that Devon Graham?"
Exactly. Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of the point, right? So,
right. Exactly.
But yeah. Well, all you guys, thanks for being patrons. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Let's see who is in the chat tonight with us. Barbecue Network, Shalom. How you doing, buddy? DJ Donnelly, hello. Robert Suave, hello. Crystal Lake Counselor 1977, my buddy Chris, is in the chat. He says, I'm sure Piz is thrilled with the news of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I don't know if it's going to be a remake or a reboot or exactly what they're going to do with it. The only thing that gives me even an iota of faith in it is Fede Alvarez. But,
What did you think of Leatherface from 2 years ago, Piz? You must have done a review on it, but it's been a while since I've seen it.
I didn't. I know I didn't like it, but I don't really remember. I don't remember a whole lot of it in detail. Like I remember there were little things I liked about it. Like it had that really grimy, dirty kind of feel to it. Kind of, that to me is very inherently Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But it just felt like they took a completely separate. Like they just had a script laying around and they were like, let's turn that into a Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel. And that's kind of what they did. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it. But I don't think many people did like it. But, let's see. Who else is with us tonight? Robbie Vinot. Hello. Brian Miller. Hello. This is just streaming straight on my YouTube channel. So even if you're not a patron, I mean, you can still watch and chat in the chat. It's all good. Jan Man Chronicles, my old buddy Jan Man is here. Hope you're doing well. Steak Sauce, what's up, man? I messaged you on Patreon. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Twitter or something, and I'll send you the invite link, man. Let's see. Andy McDonald, what's up, Andy? How are you? You just watched Slumber Party last night?
Nice.
Very nice. Who else is in here hoovering schneff? I don't even know what schneff is. I don't, or no, schneef. I don't want to know what that is. I don't want to know. I was thinking, let me Google that, but I probably shouldn't. I don't know what'll pop up. Joe Reese, what's up? How you doing, Scott, man? I'm doing very well. Toffee 20.
We have a lot of people here.
We do indeed. Hello. Let's see.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey.
Who are you?
I'm Darth Lundy. I've been on a couple of these chats before.
Yes. What's
Just
up?
never on camera. What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, welcome to the stream, and thank you for being a patron.
Hey, thank you.
Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Okay, we're caught up on the chat. Piz, when will I drive to Las Vegas? I've thought about it. I don't know about driving there. I've thought about flying there to visit and waste a lot of money, but I don't know. Don't know.
You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.
Yes, I know.
I did Vegas once 2 years ago for a surprise 90th birthday from my grandmother.
Ah.
So that was fun and very memorable.
Very nice.
But you gotta be careful with what you're spending. You're not gonna leave with much.
I hear you. Yeah. So let's dive into some movie talk tonight, guys. We've had a couple of people in the chat ask us about the Mandalorian. Are you guys watching the Mandalorian? Anybody?
Yes.
Nope. I'm not.
I have not watched it yet.
Okay, Lundy.
I haven't watched it.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
man. What's your thoughts on the Mandalorian?
Man, it's pretty good. And I hated the last 3 Star Wars sequels, or the last 2, and there's one coming up. But this was like really refreshing. I think because I went into it just not expecting much, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And my kid loves that Baby Yoda.
Who doesn't love the Baby Yoda, for God's sake?
I know, right?
I saw I've seen. Has the 3rd episode been released on Disney Plus yet?
I think it's Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the first 2 episodes, and I really liked them. I enjoyed them. And what's funny is there's this like Steak Sauce has joined us. Oh goodness.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Steak Sauce?
What's up?
Trying to figure some things out here. Volume-wise, it's quieter than normal for some reason.
Well, anyway, yeah, I've really liked the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. And what's funny is, like, I've seen a lot of people posting on Twitter and stuff saying, like, first 2 episodes of Mandalorian better than Force Awakens or Last Jedi.
Oh, for sure.
Where is this continuity-wise?
It is somebody. I honestly don't know, but now
I don't either.
Jedi?
What was that?
After Return of the Jedi?
Okay. After Return. Okay. I'm honestly not sure, but I also, somebody told me, I saw somebody saying, well, it can't be the Yoda as a baby because it takes place so many years after whatever. So it's just one of Yoda's species who just happens to be very force powerful too. So I don't know. But what I'm seeing is, like, it seems like a lot of people are embracing the show just simply because it's not it's not the new Star Wars saga that seems to be very politically based and very agenda based. You know what I mean? This is just good old fashioned Star Wars universe kind of stuff. And that seems to be what people want. And, you know,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah. Anybody else seen The Mandalorian? No?
Not yet.
It really is good. And the makeup effects are like crazy well done.
Mm-hmm.
They blend CGI and like practical effects pretty well.
Yeah. They really do. They really do. And I've really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I'm looking forward to riding out the rest of the season, and I hope it continues. I hope it just gets better and better. You know what I mean? So, does anybody have any desire in The Rise of Skywalker?
No.
Not even a little bit.
0. As I just said in the chat, I'd rather see Ryan Johnson's Knives Out.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I mean, I never thought I would see a time where people are just completely, they could care less about a Star Wars movie.
It is really weird.
That's wild.
There's no hype. There's no buzz. It's just like it's just another movie, and that shit. I'm not like a hardcore Star Wars fan, but Star Wars is supposed to be special. And
it's an iconic brand.
Yeah, and they've just made it not special. They've just made it.
I
remember they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah. What's up, Christian? How you doing, man?
Shit, I'm good, Piss. What's up?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Thanks for being a patron, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember going every time to the midnight release of each prequel. I mean, that was definitely special.
Yeah.
I actually first watched them about a year ago. All of them. Yeah. I saw as a kid, I saw the first one. Really don't remember it. I took my son to see two of them years ago, but was kind of half paying attention. And then last year I said, you know what, I'm going to get them all, and I'm going to binge them all and figure it out. And I really enjoyed most of them. I liked Force Awakens a lot. Wasn't that big on Last Jedi. Rogue One I thought was fine, and Solo was very boring. And and these are fresh eyes as opposed to maybe fans who grew up watching them. You know, but Force Awakens rather, I put that at the top of the newer films that have come out. Now maybe that's not saying much, but
I felt the same way. I thought the Force Awakens it's A New Hope. It's the same movie plot wise.
Yeah,
but I thought it was okay. I didn't mind it. But now the last Jedi, I almost would put that on the same level as Rob Zombie's Halloween as far as a super depressing movie-going experience. I walked out of that movie and I felt just sad. I felt very sad.
Piss, you trying to lose a patron, bro?
Dude, it's widely known. My
he doesn't like it.
It's widely known. My Rob Zombie's Halloween was the most depressing, but The Last Jedi is close. It was right up there. I walked out of the theater. I was just sad because.
Do you think now, because the expectations are so low, and the interest is not where it should be, that even if the new film turns out to be just kind of a fine movie, it'll at least be looked at with more favorable eyes, just because people aren't expecting much?
Probably, yeah.
If he can salvage anything out of this, that'd be very impressive.
You were going to say something before I jumped in there, Gibbs.
What? Oh, well, no big deal. I just saw the second one for the first time last week. I caught it on Netflix, and that was depressing. I mean, it just kind of surprised for the sake of surprise, and it just left it, where to go from there. There was nothing left. It was, and wasn't it funny that they've made Rey so overpowered that they almost have to treat her like Superman and get her the heck away from the main story so that there's some drama there.
Pretty much.
She just can. Yeah, so she comes in at the end and moves the rocks and saves the day. It's ridiculous.
Well, and I mean that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, this last movie is going to be Jedi. What little plot there is will be Return of the Jedi, and then at the end, Rey will pop up, slay the Emperor. Which what the heck is the Emperor doing in this thing?
Yeah,
and then and that's it.
Have you read that they had a bunch of test endings and one of them was her mopping the floor with the Emperor, and it tested so poorly because it spits in the face of, like it took Luke and Vader teaming up on him to beat him, and Rey was just going to wipe the floor with him.
Just having him in the movie.
I mean, was she actually?
Yeah, lame.
Yeah. What were you saying, Steak Sauce?
If they actually use him as a mop, that'd be fantastic. Literally mopping.
They might as well. I do it. Yeah. But why? Just having the Emperor in this movie spits in the face of Jedi and of Luke's hero journey and of Darth Vader's redemption story.
Absolutely,
100%.
So they've brought him back in this movie to get a fan you know,
cheap pop, as they say in wrestling.
Yeah, a fan service cheap pop. And then
listen, women are better than men.
Well, we know that.
Just accept it.
We know that. We're aware of that. But yeah, I guess they brought him back just for Ray to beat.
$5 says Jar Jar Binks has a cameo role in the new one.
No, there's no way. I mean, the people doing these movies are pretty incompetent, but I don't think they're going anywhere near Jar Jar. Not going anywhere.
He's coming back. He's coming. He's the one that slays the Emperor.
I would rather him slay it than Ray, to be honest.
I think Jar Jar is a little too good for this movie, to be fair.
So the biggest issue is it more so that Ray slays the Emperor, or do you think it's because character development was thrown out the window and Disney's saying, hey, like this girl, she's cool, she's just as good as Mark Hamill?
There was no character development for her. She has she has no character arc. Her character is a straight line from day one, I was a badass with the Force. The end, I'm a badass with the Force. That's it. She's not had to overcome anything. She's had no adversity.
That's what I think is so important to mention, though. It has nothing to do with it's a girl. It's just that, it's just like, hey, you like this girl? She's a badass already. You don't have to. We like Mark Hamill because we saw the journey he went through, right? We saw him working with Yoda. That's why we love him. Yeah. We saw him train.
Yeah,
we saw him fail too.
Yeah, he had a hero's journey. He redeemed his father. I mean, he did everything that a good, compelling character is supposed to do in a movie like this. And Ray is just not a strong, compelling character because she has no character.
One beat.
She's a one-beat character. That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And if you don't like that, and if you don't agree with that, then you're the sexist.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's so important about mentioning no character development. It's because it's a girl. Bullshit. It's not because it's a girl.
100% correct.
You're right.
She was just shoved down our throats. And I thought the first movie that came out set up a good pace for it, but this movie that just came out, the Last Jedi, it just screwed everything up. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no faith. I don't know. I think it's just such a bad idea why even create this character of Snoke for him to have nothing to do but die? And then, here's the Emperor back. He's just been Netflixing and chilling for a couple of 100 years. And, but that's the kind of creativity these people have at Disney with the new Star Wars series, and it's sad.
Disney plussing and chilling there.
That's it, man.
Are you kidding me?
I hear you.
I'm wearing the hell out of that subscription. I don't care.
Have they got? I was watching one of my buddies do a video about Disney Plus. And everything he wanted to watch was legally bound to some other streaming service for like 2 years. But it shows it on the platform. He was like, let's watch this movie. Oh, then like a little disclaimer would pop up. This movie is legally blah, blah, blah. You can't watch this movie until 2020. It's like, well, why is it there? You're just teasing me. So he went to another movie. This one's locked up somewhere till 2021.
He's like, Homeward Bound movies are like that, but I don't know where the hell the Homeward Bound movies are streaming. Besides Disney Plus.
I saw Homeward Bound.
I'll say this. We got 30 seasons of The Simpsons. I'm set. I don't give a shit about anything else.
But they took out the Michael Jackson episode.
I didn't even check.
Yeah, they took it
out.
out.
Check. You can still buy. You can still buy that episode on YouTube. So I don't know if they backed off on that when they found out those two kids were lying cocksuckers. But
didn't they mess around with the aspect ratio too?
They made them widescreen.
Dropping it.
Yeah. I will give Disney credit on one thing with Star Wars is that here in Orlando over at Disney World they have their whole Star Wars Galaxy Edge exhibit there. All the rides and everything, and I went there about a month or two ago, and at least that was fun. So we have that. At least I have that. So come on down.
Yeah, most of us here are horror guys. Demented Pictures, that's for sure. My buddy Chris has pre-ordered My Bloody Valentine.
Check the hat. I know Piz recognizes.
There you go. Yeah, I've pre-ordered the My Bloody Valentine Blu-ray from Scream Factory too, man. Can't wait to get my hands on that one. And I'm really looking forward to April Fool's Day too.
Oh yeah, I pre-ordered My Bloody Valentine also. I'm super stoked for it.
Are they going to be remastering the additional footage that's going to put in? Because on the DVD, when you watch it now, you can it's a huge dip.
Yeah, they said they are both versions.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. The only thing I hope for April Fool's Day is that they include the 20 or so minutes that was cut from the theatrical cut. I don't know if you guys know, but in April Fool's Day, after the big reveal that it's all just set up, that it's all not been real, there's like 20 minutes after that where there is a killer killing people.
Oh, I had no idea.
They cut that part out for the theatrical release.
Well, fuck.
So
that'll be it. That essentially that's a totally.
Yeah, that kind of makes it a totally
different movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that version available anywhere right now?
I don't think so.
Wasn't that part of the book that came out when they did like the novelization of it? Didn't that have it in there?
I think it did. It did.
I think I heard someone talk about that.
Yep, the novelization did have that. Yeah. Let's see what's going on out in the chat tonight. A lot of talk of Disney Plus. Not a lot of love for Star Wars out in the chat tonight. That's a shock.
Nope. Also, Disney Plus has been nice because I've been able to stream the original trilogy and fall right to sleep every night.
Do they have the original trilogy? That's the original trilogy that doesn't have.
It's a brand new remaster. It actually has more stuff done to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made more changes.
Yeah, they did another Han and Greedo scene.
What?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they removed a bunch of like the fog from it, so you can clearly see that Greedo shoots first in this one.
Oh God!
Does it really matter who shoots? I mean, I know they want Han to be a hero, but he's kind of. I mean, does it matter? I actually think it's cooler that Han does shoot.
Says it matters.
Like before, I knew it was even a controversy. I always assumed, like by his character, that he shot him first.
Right.
Han was the only one that shot in the original version, right?
Exactly.
Was he?
Yes.
Yes.
That's fine.
He was the only one that shot, so it doesn't matter first or whatever.
I don't.
Well, I think it slipped.
Who cares?
I think it slipped. I don't think he meant to shoot him.
Oh my.
Yes, I bet you have.
It was a misfire. It was a misfire.
Yeah. It just went off.
Yeah, he was cleaning it and it went off.
Goddamn drunk.
Yeah.
The hoovering schneef. Any fans of Letterkenny? On here or in the chat, will know that is a euphemism for some nose clams. We'll say.
Okay.
Well, Colombian marching powder.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Well, let's talk about. Oh goodness. Let's segue from the Rise of Skywalker to the failure of Charlie's Angels, of the Charlie's Angels reboot. And as we all know, that movie failed because of men. We are at fault for that movie's failure.
Way to go, gentlemen. Yes. We did it.
It's all our fault.
On International Men's Day.
That's right.
I would like to personally extend a heartfelt sorry to Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth, let's get close here. I'm sorry that I caused your movie to tank. All right.
I'd like to be so cavalier as to, no offense, to invite Elizabeth Banks onto the stream. I
would love to.
Elizabeth Banks, I think she peaked as Stinky Linky in Zack and Miri. And
that is the exact moment her career started to do this.
Granny panties, man.
I just don't think.
Yeah, she was good in Power Rangers.
DJ, exactly. DJ Dolly in chat goes, there was a Charlie's Angels remake? When did that come out? Exactly. Exactly. The only men who are at fault for that are the studio executives who greenlit that thing and then pulled all the marketing money out of it when they realized that it was a stinker. That's the guys you want to be going after, Elizabeth.
Spot on.
So, but I, and there were a lot of, when I posted about that on social media, there were a lot of people who were like, when did that happen? When did that they didn't even know that movie existed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a fault of your marketing department.
Yes, exactly.
The only preview I saw for it, even as I went and I watched that shitty shark movie that came out this summer.
Uncaged, or
47 meters down, Uncaged.
That fucking dark, nothing but sand for the whole pile of garbage that I slept through in the theater. It was the only time preview for it. I have the AMC stub thing. Movies all the time. That's the only thing I saw. Only one that I saw previews for that was a shitty movie for.
Yeah,
they tanked the marketing on that.
I mean, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I don't recall ever even seeing an ad for it on a YouTube video.
Same.
I still haven't seen an ad for it at all.
I have not. I haven't either.
Yeah, I've never even seen a trailer. Nothing.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't know it was out. Like, I thought it was something that was coming out later.
Right.
And personally, I'm still surprised that what's her name from Twilight did that, because she's been doing a lot of these Kristen Stewart. Yeah, she's been doing all these indie movies, just like Robert Pattinson. I mean, Robert Pattinson just did The Lighthouse.
That was good.
Yeah, it was great. But I mean, what is Kristen Stewart doing Charlie's Angels for? I mean, is she just a fan of the show, or
I think
I don't know. Is it that she's too good for it?
She thought the Twilight stink and rubbed off on her. She tried sticking her head back.
I think she. I mean, I think. I don't think Kristen Stewart is a bad actress. I just think she was horribly miscast here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. The studio clearly had no faith in the movie because they dumped it in the middle of November with no marketing behind it. Mm-hmm. The trailer looked bad. So that is a cocktail for a movie that tanks. I'm sorry. Has nothing to do with men. It has nothing to do with politics. You just made a bad movie.
Hey, why isn't this women's fault? The women didn't go out to see the goddamn movie.
Yeah, and it was targeted more at them, too.
Watch movies as men.
Because men run the world and we're evil. That's the way it's all
right.
I don't think anybody asked for a Charlie's Angels remake in the first place.
No.
Nobody asked for the sequel to the original movie. Nobody asked for that
Full Throttle.
Give me a
Full Throttle
break.
was horrible.
Listen, I love Cameron Diaz. I don't want to see that shit. No.
Yeah, I don't know. She just needs to not run with that narrative of blaming men for that failure. It's
foolish.
Accept the L, move on.
What does she care? She got paid already.
And here's the thing, like that only comes out when the movie's gonna tank. Like the only time that hasn't been the case is with Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. I love that movie. I thought that movie was fantastic. Maybe it's because it's the first Marvel movie I saw in the theater. I don't know. But I thought it was a lovely movie. I don't know anything about it. I don't have any comparison to make to it. I've not seen any other ones. I don't plan on seeing any other.
Right.
But use that gender narrative. Your movie sucked a pile of shit way before it was coming to the theaters.
Elizabeth Banks plays the Bosley character in that movie. Like, they even changed the dude out. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Far cry from Bernie Mac.
I was about to say Bernie Mac and Bill Murray.
That was the only thing I liked about the first Charlie's Angels movie was Bill Murray.
Well, that
was the only thing I liked about it.
Don't forget Crispin Glover was up in there too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Weird hair guy. I don't know.
Being a dead fuck.
Not in that movie. That wasn't Drew Barrymore's character hot on him in that movie, Or they were hot on each other?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
The second one she was.
He cut her hair off and smelled it. Oh,
Yeah, he tore it off. Yeah.
That's Crispin Glover.
That may have just been Crispin Glover on set that day.
Might have been. McG was just like, just put that in.
Yeah.
Just
keep
put
it. We'll use it.
Yeah, I don't, oh well, whatever. Let's talk about another movie that's unfortunately underperforming that's actually, I think, really good, and that's Dr. Sleep. Have you guys seen Dr. Sleep?
Loved it.
I have not gotten a chance yet.
That going into that movie, a lot of people I think got scared off thinking it's because it was a little over 2.5 hours, but it did not feel like it.
I didn't think so. No.
No.
Yeah, it was paced so well, and the acting was solid, and it just flew by, and it's not really scary, but definitely recommend it though. It's a solid follow up to The Shining.
Hey, what's up, Mike? Pat's Bosox81. How you doing tonight, buddy? And Nilda Rivera, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, Stone, I know you saw it. Gibbs,
Yes.
Did you see? No, you've not seen.
No, I'll wait till video. But you're free to. If you don't talk spoilers, go right ahead.
It's worth the watch, my friend. It's worth the watch.
Yes, it is. I second that.
Dev and Christian, have you guys seen Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, I watched it in the theater. I think I'm one of like two people in the whole world who has issues with it. I feel very mixed about it, but it's a very well made movie. I agree with what Robbie said. It is paced very well. I love Rebecca Ferguson in the movie. I thought she was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had some issues with it in the third act.
Yeah,
me too.
It got very fan servicey, I guess, to say the least.
It got a little cosplay to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I still really liked it overall. I sat there and I waited, I was like giddy in my seat, like, oh, when are they going to get to the overlook? When are they going to get to the, oh, there it is, there it is, oh, there it is. Where's the elevator? There's the elevator,
Did any of you guys read the book, the Dr. Sleep book?
No.
Yeah.
Readings for nerds.
I listened to the audiobook of The Shining last week of Stephen King's book, and I really enjoyed that. But hey, did you recognize who played Jack Torrance in Dr. Sleep?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't recognize Henry Thomas. Oh man, I didn't know that was him.
My girlfriend thought it was CGI.
Really?
My girlfriend was like, because on the drive home,
I can see that.
On the drive home, I was like, did you recognize the kid from E.T. as Jack Torrance? What? I said, yeah.
What?
She goes, she said, that wasn't like CGI? I said, no, that was the kid from E.T. But yeah, spoiler alert if you've not seen it. But surely you would expect, they're going back to the Overlook. You've seen it in the trailers. Who's at the Overlook as a spirit?
They're doing what?
They bring back Scatman Crothers too?
They did. They brought him back.
Oh shit, I was just joking.
He is there. It's a different actor playing Scatman. He's not CGI. But it's a good everything with him is good.
I would love that if they could get Samuel L. Jackson to play that part.
And I know the kid that played Danny. I know the kid that played Danny Torrance had a cameo. I don't know where he was, but I know he was in there somewhere.
I caught him. I saw that face, and I was like, "There he is. That's the original kid." Yeah, he was. He's got a speaking part and everything. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He's up in there, man.
Cool.
But yeah, if you Jeff, have you seen Dr. Sleep? I don't think Jeff can hear me. That's all right. But yeah, I really like Dr. Sleep. I think it's unfortunate that it's not doing well at the box office. I think if they'd released it in October or closer to Halloween, it would have done much better.
I blame women for not going to see this movie.
Damn. Turn the table.
There it is.
Zing.
Yes, Malek. Danny Lloyd was at the baseball game, and he was sitting next to, I forget who he was sitting next to, but he had a couple of lines in there. So, yeah. You know, one thing. This is a spoiler, but there was a moment that I was really hoping would happen during that meeting with Danny and Jack at the bar. You guys remember when Danny gets that token for being sober for 8 years, and he dedicates it to his dad? He says, "This is for you. This is for Jack Torrance." During that sequence, I really wanted him to reach into his pocket and pull that out and like slide it across the table to him. Nothing probably would have happened, but I would have loved a moment like from Jack for him to like look down and kind of be like, you know,
pussy.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would have said. But
what my favorite part was where they did like a tribute to the Stanley Kubrick movie. There's that scene where Danny is talking to some guy in an office, and it's just like Jack getting interviewed by German. I liked that a lot. They did that really good.
Yep, they did that very well. I enjoyed the movie a lot overall. I loved Ewan McGregor's performance. I loved Rebecca Ferguson. There were a lot of really great moments in the film.
The little girl was good too.
Little girl was very good, I thought.
Was. Yeah.
I was surprised they were quite as graphic with the scene that involved the little baseball player kid. I was surprised they went that graphic with it.
That was pretty crazy.
That's the only thing I've heard about it. Is there's a pretty graphic death scene, like an 8-year-old child.
That's fun.
It's like prolonged and it's brutal and I was surprised they went that long with it, but it was kind of difficult to watch. But anyway, I really like the movie. It's too bad that it's underperforming.
I think that's great. But they're finally getting over this thing where kids can't be murdered on screen. We can't kill kids. We got plenty of them. Start killing them for real. In the movies, kill the kids for real.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know when did that really happen where we couldn't kill kids in movies. My favorite movie of all time, Jaws, kills a kid in incredibly graphic fashion, and it's a PG film. Now the ratings were different then. How did Jaws get a PG rating when around that time Halloween and Texas Chainsaw got R's, and they're less graphic, I would think, than Jaws. Spielberg. Money. Yeah.
Well,
remember, Spielberg created the PG-13 rating because he directed Temple of Doom with the beating heart. That was the big deal. But also Gremlins with the gremlin in the microwave. That freaked out a lot of people. So Spielberg told Jack Valenti at the MPA, why did she have something in the middle between R and PG? And so that's how they came up with PG-13. It was all because of Spielberg.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Vargas 515 says, Pizowell, off topic, are you a gamer or casual? Am I a gamer or a casual gamer?
You can only pick one.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to say I'm a casual gamer.
Okay.
Glows, what's up, Glows? How you doing tonight, man? Also, Adam, the motion picture history horror fan, says, what's your personal opinion on the trilogies for Basket Case, It's Alive, and Maniac Cop? I like the Basket Case movies. It's been so long since I've seen any of the It's Alive. I don't remember a thing about any of them. And I like the first two Maniac Cops. I don't remember much about the third.
Okay, real quick on Maniac Cop 3. Do any of you guys happen to have the Maniac Cop 3 Blu-ray?
Yeah, I got the Blue Underground of it.
Okay. Yeah, if you watch the documentary on that disc, everybody but I think one person involved in the documentary and the film talk about how much they hate the movie and they think the movie's absolutely terrible. It's a fascinating watch because usually on these documentaries they reminisce and they kind of
a wonderful time.
Very, very positive about it, but they killed the movie and they ripped it apart. It's fascinating to watch.
Well, I mean, Erwin Yablans is pretty pissed off in the Halloween 3 documentary on the Scream Factory Blu-ray too.
Oh, this one blows that away.
Yeah, I watched it. I know what you're talking. You're right. I'll watch it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Salty people.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing a Maniac Cop TV show?
Yes.
Did I hear that
right? Apparently they are.
Yeah, I think it was HBO that's picking that up. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, that'd be good.
That could be fun.
Nicholas Winding Refn.
That could be good.
Oh, okay.
Stephen King's comments about Stanley Kubrick, as well as his comments about the original version of The Shining over the years.
He can go fuck himself.
Interest. Yeah. So people are even. It seems like people may be turned off to go watch Dr. Sleep because of Stephen King himself.
He's a moron.
I don't know. I think Stephen King just needs to let it go. Stephen King is fine with all of the other horrible adaptations that were made on his books, but this one for some reason has just been under his craw for years. Let it go, dude. He even said
let it go.
He even said that the Dr. Sleep redeems Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. It doesn't need redeemed.
He lives in a fantasy land.
Stanley Kubrick's Shining is better than Stephen King's The Shining. I'm sorry. I'll say it.
You mean you liked it better than the miniseries? Little Danny in that movie. When I watch the miniseries, when I watch it, I just focus on his big teeth the whole time.
Yes.
I feel like he's gonna chomp away at it.
I will say, let's see, where'd the game Vargas? If you're on PlayStation 4 and you want to add me on PlayStation 4, I'm either under Pizowell X or Pizowell 1. Surely I'm the only Pizowell on there, so just look up Pizowell, you'll find me. So, but Joe Bob Tarhill, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Didn't piranhas eat a bunch of kids? Yes, if I recall correctly, there were a lot of younger people eating in Piranha. So,
Piranha 3D was fun.
But anytime you put children in danger, that's like, R rating. If you light up a cigarette in a movie, that's an R rating. Just the cigarette alone is an R rating.
Weren't they trying to get rid of cigarette smoking in the next season of Stranger Things? Was that something that was?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the 80s. Everybody's. Well,
yeah, I noticed on Disney Plus, there's like a disclaimer that pops up in the top left-hand corner for depictions of tobacco, like when you start a movie.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
great.
Well, in the 50s, everybody smoked more so than the 80s. I mean, remember the ads that said, "My doctor recommends Camel." It's true, though.
Doctors recommend Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
Medical school must have been an elective in high school back then.
Barbecue Network says King is back on heroin. I don't think King ever tried it. I think King's drug of choice was like coke back in the day.
King's Hoover Sneef, baby.
Yeah.
Best believe.
There you go. Oh, goodness gracious.
Anybody that can tell me the Shining miniseries is better than Kubrick's Shining is on heroin.
There you go. Yeah. Gibbs, do you do any current gaming, or are you all retro?
I thought you was about to ask if I did any current heroin or something.
I just do retro heroin.
That's a different show. Come on. No, actually, I pretty much stick to retro. I'm a 6th generation back. Well, 7th generation back. I don't do much with. My son has a Switch that I've kind of tinkered around with, but no, I don't do any modern gaming. I don't like online gaming. I don't like the FPSs or anything like that. So yeah, I'm pretty strictly retro.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. Did you ever clamp down and buy the Sega Mini with the 80 games on it or whatever?
No, not yet. I've seen it several times. I don't believe it's going to be one of those things like the Nintendos where you can't find them. So I think I can just kind of wait it out and maybe we'll get a price drop.
Yeah,
maybe get a PlayStation Classic for like $20 now.
Yep, absolutely. You say the PlayStation?
Yeah.
Yeah. It got down like $19.99, but they were giving them away with PS4s.
Yeah, nobody was buying those things, man.
No.
Jeez. Let's see. We had a question. Oh, Black Christmas. Yes, Black Christmas was on the list to talk about, Glows, for sure.
Oh boy.
So
here we go.
So Devin, you can't wait for the Black Christmas remake, right? Or remake? Sorry.
No, not at all. I mean, I had a bad feeling from day one, and it's just gotten progressively worse. Everything I hear about it.
Well, I feel like we could all give our reviews now, since the trailer pretty much just told us everything that was going to happen in the movie anyway.
Goddamn trailer now. Yeah.
I was shocked watching that trailer because literally, what did they leave for you to discover in the movie? I mean, there's
bad. Yeah,
that was like
maybe
one of the. Go ahead.
This whole trailer that's like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, trailers are getting bad. I mean, the Pet Cemetery trailer gave away
pissed me off so much.
What the hell?
That reveal would have been so shocking had they not put it in the fucking trailers.
I thought
it was that movie. It was a great reveal. It was great. The switch, but no, well, let's give that away. Let's give it all away and have a shitty ending.
I don't know.
Cool.
You guys actually liked that movie though?
I thought it was pretty good.
I did. I liked it.
Other than the end, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, not on the level of the original at all, but independently, it was good. I enjoyed it for what it was.
That's probably my least favorite movie I've seen this year.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Whoa.
Hated it.
Somebody didn't see fucking Sharks in the Sand.
I haven't seen it yet. No, that's true.
Pile of garbage.
But yeah, the Black Christmas remake had literally one of the worst trailers I've ever seen. Then they come out and say, "Well, it's going to be PG-13." And now I'm not somebody who thinks every horror movie has to be rated R. But when you're talking about a slasher movie, or you know what I mean, or a movie that's a remake.
Yeah.
Of the original and the remake were both R-rated. I mean, what kind of phone calls? What kind of obscene phone calls are they going to get? Hey, girls, I want to hold your hand. Yeah. I want to hold your hand, girls. I want to hold your hand real tight. You know what? I mean, I don't. But even then, and there was like this huge debate online about it being rated PG-13. I was like, who cares? Because even if it was rated R. Is the rating going to make you want to go see it more? It's not. It's not going to make me want to go see it more.
Hell no.
But I didn't see the remake.
Oh, I'm sure this one's going to make that remake look like the original Black Christmas.
This is the first, as far as I'm concerned. This is the first remake. So
when you just mentioned it too, Biz. When you go into certain subgenres of horror, you kind of have like these conscious or even subconscious checklist in your head of what you want to see. Right. So when you go to see the slasher movie, you want to see good kills, creative kills, hopefully practical effects integrated into those blood and gore. These days maybe not as much with the TNA, but we all grew up watching it. That's what we like. So if you're going to dumb down what we're going to be able to see, it's going to stifle a film that could be watchable, possibly, and just make it just lame, dull, predictable, and just another film that's getting pumped out.
I got to figure it out. The people at Blumhouse got with the people that made the Charlie's Angels remake, and they're like, guys, this Charlie's Angels remake is going to make a killing. Let's do this with Black Christmas, and we're going to make a fortune. We're going to make twice as much as Halloween 2018. It's going to be the biggest hit of Blumhouse history.
Well, I mean, the original Black Christmas was one of my top 3 favorite horror films of all time. And to me, it's all about the tension and the atmosphere, that twist ending. The cast is really above average for a horror film. And I just don't understand. This is hallowed ground. Why? I don't get it. I mean, this new one looks like it doesn't have the slightest connection to the original and to the original story. I mean, the remake, even though I didn't like it, and I've kind of warmed up to it a little bit since then. I mean, at least that one, tried to respect the original by doing something different, outside the circle and say, okay, well, let's give Billy a backstory. I mean, I think it's a dumb idea, but at least they tried. I mean, this one, it just doesn't look like they're trying at all.
That makes it a lot scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it almost seems like they had made an entirely different movie, And then they go, let's throw the Black Christmas title on this thing, and maybe that'll get us some attention or something. It doesn't even seem like it started out as a Black Christmas film. You know what I mean?
I said in the last podcast, this feels more like a remake of The Skulls than Black Christmas.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You know
really
what I need
does.
a remake of?
What?
I need a remake of Leprechaun 4.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
No. This is Leprechaun in space, baby.
I want to see.
I need to see a 2019 take on that spider doctor.
I want to see Leprechaun meets Ghoulies. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Leprechaun meets the Ghoulies. That's what I want to see. But I think them throwing a PG-13 rating on this movie basically is the studio saying, let's just cast the widest net possible and try and get as many people into this thing as we can.
Whatever money back we can for this pile of garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
We need bodies. Paying bodies. Let's go. Please you through the door now.
Because the PG rating will divide a lot of horror fans who were maybe even considering seeing the movie. The PG-13 rating will divide them. And I don't know. They're wanting to play. They're wanting to like sort of direct the movie toward teenage girls, and okay, that's who your audience. That's who you want your audience to be now. Okay,
I'll say this: the PG-13.
If somebody bought you okay.
No, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to ask if somebody bought. Oh, okay. Never mind.
What were you going to say, Stone?
Oh, if somebody were going to buy you a ticket and you're going to see it for free, would you do that?
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
I might check it out because I have the AMC A list.
Yeah.
And I think if nothing else, it could be a fun video to do.
It's an easy waste of time. Listen, it's an excuse to just eat a large bucket of popcorn. And
got my Skittles and we're good to go.
Yeah. I don't know. I know. Well, I was just getting ready to mention Lorne, and he pops on. I know Lorne is a member of the like the Regency Club, where you pay $20 a month and you can watch however many movies as you want. I mean, maybe if you've got something like that and you want to get your money's worth out of it, or you've got like an afternoon free and you're like, hey, I feel like sinking into a deep depression, let's go watch the Black Christmas remake. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's I think.
So.
Out the Ridgefield Park AMC. I'm a proud A-list member.
Nice. But Lauren is with us tonight. Lauren, how's it going, man?
I'm okay. I saw Parasite today.
Excellent stuff. What do you think?
It was very good. It was very good. I would say it's one of those films I don't know if I actually want to revisit, only because I think it's a really great experience. I'm not sure I want to see any cracks, and I love what I have right now. So,
fair.
Yeah.
I started watching that movie. I got 15 minutes into it, and I had to stop it to take care of something, and I've not gone back because I want to devote my full attention to it. So,
yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's it's in one of the top movies I've seen this year. I put a top 5 easy. Yeah.
Where do you watch it? Is it theaters or?
AMC pretty much has as an exclusive.
Okay.
Fuck Louisiana, man. They ain't got shit.
I got the Blu-ray. You want to see it?
Lauren, I got Parasites here, but it's not in a theater, baby.
There's certain things we don't need to know, Christian.
Well, have you checked the theater seats? Because there's probably parasites crawling around on the seats.
I've always wanted to take a UV light through a movie theater. Always wanted to do it.
I would.
Always wanted to do it.
Every theater has bed bugs. It's disgusting.
I was once told never wear shorts to a movie theater. Always wear jeans, even if it's in the middle of the summer and it's 100 degrees. Always wear jeans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Then I have to rethink my wardrobe here in Florida.
An old roommate of mine had a girlfriend whose father was like a pest control specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And he paid off. He has for a couple different AMC theaters. He's got free these magic cards, He hands it in when he goes to see a movie. He gets whatever he wants for free because he cleans the theater. And it's part of their hush money. Just don't tell anybody what you saw and killed here today, please. They're disgusting, and it's everywhere. It's not just a certain couple chain. It would be down the line every movie theater you come across.
Yeah,
someone's got some.
There's some fluid on them seats somewhere. Yeah,
if they're not.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, it's kind of like the same situation as an airplane. Right? I mean, you're constantly loading and unloading. No one's really deep cleaning those ever.
No. They're barely touching the surface.
Yeah, they're making sure the popcorn gets off the floor between every show, and that's about it.
Yeah, I used to work as an usher. I was an usher.
I was an usher too.
You just sweep up quick because you got another showing in 10 minutes.
Yep,
you have about the time the credits roll at the end to clean that theater.
Yeah. Well, when you're walking out of the theater, I mean, look, because you've got those kids waiting with the brooms in hand. Like as soon as you leave, they're running right in. You know what I mean? So I can imagine. Oh, jeez. Does anybody have any interest in seeing the Snyder Cut, which has been a big deal It's been a big deal on Twitter lately. A lot of people tweeting about release the Snyder Cut. Gal Gadot tweeted about it. Ben Affleck tweeted about it. Jason Momoa tweeted about it. Everybody wants the Snyder Cut released, apparently, except Warner Brothers. Who I heard, I don't know if this is true, if it's confirmed, that the Warner Brothers has no interest in releasing the Snyder Cut.
Pretend I don't know what that is.
That was the original, the original version of Batman v Superman, I think, right?
Justice League.
Justice League. That's right. Justice League. Yes.
Justice League.
There was a Justice League it was all Snyder, and the studio didn't like it because it was too dark or too whatever, so they brought in Joss Whedon.
They made a Justice League movie.
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, I have no interest whatsoever in seeing the Snyder Cut, and yet I still think Warner Brothers should release it. I mean, why not? Make some money off of it.
Yeah,
just release it. Yeah,
put it
even if it's rough.
Put it on some streaming service. Just get it out there. Let people watch it. Who cares?
Worse. Always release everything.
It's not finished. That's the problem.
Oh,
I mean, it's not finished. You're going to talk about wireframe instead of even basic CGI. It's just, I don't think it's a film.
Okay.
I think if they could release it, they would. But there's nothing to release. And they're not going to spend any more money after what they lost on it. It's just not going to happen.
How do you lose money on a Justice League movie? That's what I want to know.
That's just spend too much money.
Well, I mean, they could take some of the $1 billion that they just made on Joker and finish it up. I mean, come on.
Fair enough.
They got to make Charlie's Angels too.
Well, that. I mean, that leads me to another interesting question. I mean, Joker just crossed $1 billion? They're already talking about a sequel. Does Joker need a sequel?
No. Nothing needs a sequel.
I would rather them do more films like that with other characters, like a Mr. Freeze film.
That's what. Or a Penguin movie. Yeah.
Freeze, right?
Be all right.
Well, I mean, did you guys watch the Batman animated series growing up?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they had that. I think it was like the 2-part Mr. Freeze episode.
Yeah.
Seeing that live action could be interesting.
Only if Arnold comes back.
But I mean,
we've already had a live action Mr. Freeze or Dr. Freeze.
If they treat it with the same level of integrity as they treated the Joker movie, if they treat it with the same level of the kind of filmmaking acumen that Todd Phillips brought to it, then I think you could make a good, Penguin movie or
you could make a good Eggman.
Yeah, you could make a good Riddler. I think you could a Riddler movie.
Riddler for sure.
I don't
think you could make a serious Mr. Freeze movie though.
You never know.
Good writing can do anything.
It would be like Patrick Stewart, like in like.
You don't think Arnold could do it, or?
Oh, I would. My money is already spent if Arnold comes back and does like a
right here.
drama movie.
You're not sending him to the cooler.
Chill out.
Oh, yes.
My wife.
I don't. Yeah.
No, I'm down for that. Like a really like nice like dissected drama movie, like diving into Arnold Schwarzenegger's head as Mr. Freeze. I will pay for that. My wife's just cancer.
I hope Warner Brothers learned a lesson with Joker if they do more DCEU movies to take it. I don't know. Take it seriously. The Marvel movies are kind of light and family friendly, and whatever.
Oh.
Go dark, and not Zack Snyder dark. Go dark. You know what I mean?
That's been the bread and butter with like the DC movies that have actually succeeded, like the Dark Knight trilogy and Joker. Is a more realistic, grounded approach, and let Marvel do all the larger than life family movies.
Yeah.
So you're not psyched about the Birds of Prey trailer?
I saw it.
It looks pretty bad.
Yes, it does.
Did anybody watch the Birds of Prey TV show that was on for like 6 episodes?
I haven't, but I've never stuck it in and watched it. I have it on DVD.
They made a good character with, I think Margot Robbie is good as Harley Quinn, and they've got something there with her.
Yeah, she sure is.
But I don't think it looks like they've not given her anything to work with in this new movie. And then, like, what's his name? Who's like the bad guy in the film? He came out and said, "Yeah, the actor. Who's the actor? Was it Ewan McGregor?"
Yeah, and then the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, he came out and in an interview, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's such a great feminist film." And he said all the wrong things. He said all the wrong things. There was probably somebody standing off screen aside, like going, "Stop, don't say that." It was like, it's a great feminist film, and it's got a great, woman power message in it. And it's just like he was saying all the wrong things. So, yeah. Anywho,
sounds like a hit. It's so easy. It's like don't go looking for trouble because you will find it. My dad always tells me that. It's like we went all this time with having these movies, like the Charlie's Angels. It was a big hit. Nobody was like, it's a big feminist movie. It's going to be great for women. No, it's just, hey, here's this movie. The trailer, it was a good made movie, had a great cast in it. That's why it was good. Quit running y'all mouths about this crap. You just divide people. Nobody wants to see a feminist movie. I don't. Jesus Christ.
That's what hurt Terminator too.
Yeah.
Not Terminator. Terminator as well.
Yeah. Dark Fate. I haven't seen it.
Dark Fate hurt Dark Fate.
Yeah, it was just very bland.
Terminator Dark Stool.
I've lost hope that they can make a decent follow-up to T2. I just don't think it can happen.
Yeah, I lost hope with that with Rise of the Machines.
I just wish they'd stop. Just let it
I
go.
love Salvation. I don't care.
Just quit trying.
Don't let it go.
Well, then I have good news for you, Pez.
Just remake it.
It's done.
Just let it go.
Did you guys watch the TV show that they had? The Sarah Connor?
I did. I liked it.
It was good.
That was okay. It was pretty solid.
So I liked it. I don't know. Yeah. But I think that may have been the stake in the heart of the Terminator franchise, and it needed it. Just let it go.
It's been terminated.
Yeah, just let it go.
I'm really shocked that it hasn't been remade. I mean, Rocky doesn't need to be remade. That doesn't make sense. But I'm really surprised Terminator just hasn't been remade yet.
Well, they kind of tried that a little bit with Genesis a little bit, but then that one was just bad too. And
I think I'm the only person that likes Genesis.
I
liked it. I dug it. Too.
You're not alone, brother.
I totally dug it, and I'll take that over Dark Fate any day of the week.
I didn't like the ending with what they did with Arnold at the very end of Genesis, but I had a good time otherwise.
I thought that he had his bond with Sarah in that movie was really good. I liked him playing the father figure. For me, it worked. It wasn't. The movie wasn't cast very well. Jason Clarke wasn't the best John Connor.
No.
And what's his face as
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney.
Yeah, no. Those were two. Those were bad.
I thought I thought Amelia Clarke was really miscast too.
But she's so good to look at.
Well,
So
I
at
mean
least
that's true. That's true.
You misogynist.
Isn't she miscast in everything though?
I proudly wear that label.
I like Amelia Clarke. I think she's a pretty good actress. It's just like every movie that she's cast in tanks. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
Stick to TV, I guess.
They ought to pull a Last Action Hero and just do a Terminator 2 remake with Stallone as the Terminator.
Let's just get Last Action Hero 2.
Yes.
I want a golden ticket.
Well, here, how would that work? I was asking my wife about that. How would Last Action Hero 2 work? Would the kid be grown up, go to the theater, and he's going to see Jack Slater 14, and then he gets sucked into that movie?
I'm down.
Yeah,
right.
Let's do it.
Film it. I'm watching.
That movie was so much fun to watch as a kid.
Oh, it was incredible.
It was.
This man's not dead.
What were you saying, Lundy?
Nobody ever talks about that one. And like the classic Schwarzenegger movies, like that's one of my favorite. I love that movie.
I love it.
That was a huge bomb back in the day. That was like Stallone. That was like Schwarzenegger's first big bomb.
Yeah.
Like nobody saw that movie. It was roasted by the critics, and I loved it. I still like it.
Yeah,
I think all of us, because we were all around that same age, we saw ourselves as that Austin
kid.
Brian character. Yeah, and so we're just really in those eyes, and it was just perfect, man. As a kid watching that, who wouldn't want to jump in and be with Arnold or be with Stallone or whoever at 10, 11, 12 years old?
Could you imagine, though, Jack Slater, 14 or 20, is Schwarzenegger versus Stallone. And the new kid gets sucked into that movie and Stallone is the bad guy. That would be cool.
I would pay
Just
so
like
much
in real life.
That's Standy of T2 with Stallone. God, I'd love to have that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The only Arnold movie I'd like right now would be Conan the King, where he plays an older Conan. Unfortunately, the Terminator Genesis kind of ruined that because Universal got cold feet and pulled the plug. So now we're not going to have a new Conan movie with but he still wants to
twins.
do it.
I want Twins 2. Twins 2 or bust.
I can deal with Twins 2.
I want Twins 2, but I don't want Schwarzenegger now.
I heard
Vito and The Rock.
He was talking about this. He did an interview with Howard Stern a couple weeks ago during the promotion of Dark Fate, and they talked about a twin sequel that would have Eddie Murphy in it, and it would be triplets.
Right. I was listening to Howard about that.
Yeah.
Who directed that movie? Because the director's like, I don't want to do that. Arnold's like the only one that wants to do it.
Ivan Reitman.
Ivan Reitman's like, hell no, I ain't doing the Twins 2. Get the hell out of here. Arnold's like, let's make a great script. The script is going to be great for the movie. We'll get Eddie Murphy.
Maybe his son will do it after Ghostbusters.
Yeah, maybe.
Did anybody here actually see that Kindergarten Cop 2 that was made?
Dolph Lundgren?
Oh, man.
No.
No.
It's pretty bad.
No!
It looks terrible. Yeah, I can't.
I got to take
can't either.
Dollar Tree, so
Dolph Lundgren has the worst manager in history. He gives them all the worst movies ever.
He's an Aquaman.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, I like that Punisher movie he made. I thought that was fun.
Yeah. Dolph Lundgren is the Punisher in my book. So now I can finally get my Kindergarten Cop 2 poster signed because Dolph Lundgren's going to be at a convention in Knoxville. So I'm going to get my Kindergarten Cop 2 posters. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Fizz, when you go up to him, he's going to look around and say, hey, I'm going to take this poster from you. He's going to throw it away.
He's probably...
Don't pull this crap out around here. What are you trying to do, ruin my career?
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to make money.
Dolph Lundgren has that luxury.
He'll rip it up right in my face and get away from me.
That would be fun to meet him.
I'd pay $20 to have him rip my posters.
Dude, he was so badass.
Fantastic.
Hey, y'all remember Universal? Y'all remember Universal Soldier? That's one of my favorite films ever. Him and Van Damme. Van Damme were so bad. Van Damme was he's one of my favorites. He was the king for a while. He did so many cool Lionheart and Double Impact, and then he just fell off. Yeah. It's like, what happened? I love Van Damme. I love Lionheart. That's got to be one of my favorite action movies ever.
Mm-hmm. Lauren, what's your favorite?
Would you say is
Lauren, what's your favorite Van Damme movie?
The one where he punches people.
You just love the whole career, the whole body of work. Then
what can I say? I'm a mark.
Well, there you go, man.
My favorite Van Damme movie is still Time Cop, and I remember when I snuck into the theater to see that one.
I love Time Cop.
I love Time Cop. I saw that in the theater too. I think my favorite though is probably Hard Target. I love Hard Target.
Hey, you remember Death Warrant? Death Warrant was freaking amazing when he's in the jail.
In the prison? Yeah. I still have that VHS.
What was the movie you did with Dennis Rodman?
That was Double Team. Double Team. And then poor Mickey Rourke at the end. And that was a fun ending. Hey, you know what I mean?
I had a Double Team poster when I was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Piz, what happened to that era of the like middle to low budget action, like kung fu action movies? Like it just disappeared.
It died. Yeah. It disappeared. It died.
Did anybody succeed Van Damme as like? Because was Jet Li still doing pretty big movies in the late '90s, early 2000s?
What happened? The Fast and the Furious happened, and action, and now action stars were the cars.
Well, it's the Raid movie guys, though.
Well, I think when TNT rebranded as We Know Drama, that kind of collectively killed that replay market.
What did you say, Lauren?
It's the Raid guys. They're the new action stars, but we don't know them by name.
Redemption.
Yeah.
All those, because they're all the kung fu that's out there. They're throughout the entire John Wick series. They're the Raid guys. It's all the same people. So.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch a lot of the kung fu stuff back, in the VHS days?
Not really.
I was into ninja movies. Sho Kosugi did all. Sho Kosugi did all these ninja movies, and I grew up on all that. So like Revenge of the Ninja, Enter the Ninja, Ninja 3. I mean, this guy did tons of them.
Dude, Ninja 3 is amazing.
Now
I love Ninja 3.
That stuff, yes, I did watch. I did watch a lot of that stuff. My action heroes of the '80s were, Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
Of course, yeah.
Van Damme, you know what I mean? Even slightly Seagal, because I loved Under Siege. That was really the only. I know he did some good ones before that, but the only one that registered with me really was Under Siege.
Dude, what was that one he did where? Oh, Chucky Norris.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Of course, yeah.
You're a big missing in action fan.
Hey, Chuck Norris took a trip to the Virgin Islands. Now it's just called the Island.
And don't forget Charles Bronson.
Oh yeah, Bronson.
He's great.
Bronson was one of my favorites, man.
I need to dip into him because my first experience with Bronson so far has been 10 to Midnight, and that movie was fucking awesome.
You need to watch Death Wish. I skip the first Death Wish because that one's a little too serious. Watch Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3. Watch
That's the one with Goldblum, right?
Goldblum's in the first one. He's in the first one.
He's in the first one. Okay.
Hey, is you telling me to skip over a Jeff Goldblum movie? What's wrong with you?
He's only in it for a second. He's only in it for. No, he's not in it very much.
That's worth the price of admission.
But yeah, let's see. Gosh, there's so many good Bronson flicks. I got to think here. There's one he did with. It was Lee Marvin, him, and
Delta Force.
No, was it Delta Force?
Oh, it wasn't Delta.
Oh, geez, what's it called? It's so good because it's Lee Marvin versus freaking Charles Bronson. You know what I mean? It's called like Death Hunt.
Death Hunt.
So good, so good. It's also got Carl Weathers in it too.
Apollo?
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
I love Apollo Creed.
Good stuff.
Did you know that Charles Bronson played Vincent Price's assistant in House of Wax? Yeah, that's one of his first movies.
Yeah. He got into the business as an older man, and he did a lot of stuff before he kind of became like the Death Wish action guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Any Buddy Cop fans?
Oh yeah, Lethal Weapon.
I will live and die by Lethal Weapon.
Did you like the
see that?
Hey, Tom Atkins said he read initially for the role of Riggs, but they passed on him. Could you imagine Tom Atkins as Riggs in that movie? Because he was so great in Maniac Cop and Night of the Creeps. I always say Tom Atkins is a really good actor. Like at the end of the day, Tom Atkins is such a good actor.
Well, what happened was he was he was doing Night of the Creeps, and the gosh, what's his name? Who directed Night of the Creeps? And where's my master
Fred Decker.
Fred Decker. Fred Decker is friends with Shane Black. So he got the script for Lethal Weapon through Shane Black, who wrote it, of course. And Shane Black was like, I want Tom Atkins to be this character. And then, of course, it landed at Warner Brothers, and it got a huge budget behind it. And they were like, no. We got to get a movie star in here.
I mean,
they still
I'm not complaining. I like Mel.
He's still in the movie. He just has a smaller part.
Yeah. Wasn't he drinking milk when he got shot? Lethal Weapon. Like,
I don't remember.
He had a carton of milk and then he gets shot.
Speaking of Lethal Weapon, today is World Toilet Day. And on my challenge on Twitter, it was choose a movie with a toilet scene, and I chose Lethal Weapon 2 because, as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the great toilet scenes in the history of movies, right?
It's like that and
oh, dude. Somebody was showing me some Halloween love. Somebody tagged me in a Joe Grizzly picture, and I was marking the hell out on that.
That was me.
He had that, dude, Joe Grizzly on a toilet with a massive buck knife in his hand has got to be the most intimidating thing I've ever seen. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Grizzly, bitch.
Let's see. We had some good. We had a couple of good questions from the chat. First Power 100 said, "Will Hollywood succeed with a new Crow movie?" No.
Nope.
No.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Edward Furlong can't do it.
That's if Edward.
I was
Furlong,
offended when.
Go ahead, son. I was going to make an Edward Furlong joke, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was offended when City of Angels came out. I'm like, why? Why are you insulting Brandon Lee's memory by making a horribly crappy sequel to The Crow? I mean, just there should have been no other Crow movies, period, in my opinion. But that's just me.
I don't mind City of Angels, but like 3 and 4,
Okay.
I'm not down with it. I don't mind City.
Yeah.
City of Angels looks better now in retrospect after 3 and 4 came out.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that. Yeah.
City of Angels is a well-made film. It just is repetitive from the first film, and it has Iggy Pop, so there's value there.
Well,
that's a good thing.
That was another.
It is.
It's a positive, baby.
That was a movie that was victimized by Harvey Scissorhands.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was like 10 minutes in the beginning of the film that was hacked out and replaced with a montage of basically fog.
Yeah, there's like a different ending, and
I just can't get too upset about the idea of Crow films keep going on, because I mean it was a comic book, and it did have the concept of the Crow being different people. So if they just would tell different stories, I'd be fine with it. The problem is they've made the same film 4 times, and once as a television series.
Yeah,
that's the problem. And I just at the risk of being really controversial, I don't think Brandon Lee is all that great in the first film. He's okay. He's fine. But come on, if he hadn't died, no one would be talking about it. Really.
Same thing with Kurt Cobain. Nirvana sucks.
I'm with Lauren on this one.
I'm not saying it's a bad performance. But it's not an exceptional performance.
I'm not touching
Outsiders, baby.
I'm not touching that with a 1,000,000-foot pole. Not touching that.
Me neither.
But no, I just think they need to leave it alone. They've tried to set up a Crow sequel or a new Crow, a reboot or whatever, a couple of different times, and it just fails. Just leave it alone.
Wasn't Jason Momoa supposed to be?
He was.
Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston, right? Wasn't he considered at one point?
I thought it was. It might have been. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be Momoa.
Momoa was the last time they had one. They had cast him, and I think they were getting really close to actually shooting that movie before it fell apart.
Yeah, they
Wasn't
couldn't get
Bradley Cooper attached at one point, like a long time ago, like 10 years ago?
Who was that, Lundy?
Bradley Cooper, wasn't he attached to that at one point?
Yeah.
Cooper, yes, you're right. Yeah. Bradley Cooper, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I say just leave it alone. Let it go.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Adam, the motion picture history horror fan, asks, what's your favorite Blu-ray distribution company for horror?
Vinegar Syndrome.
Yes.
Vinegar Syndrome is very good.
They're ballsier than everyone else. They never rely on the tried and true.
They put. I'll give Vinegar Syndrome a lot of credit. They put out the movies. They put out some really obscure movies Some not so very obscure movies, but they always give them like the red carpet treatment. So I certainly appreciate that. Certainly appreciate that. Anybody else got any favorite? Go ahead, Christian.
I was gonna say I kind of like Arrow a lot. I like their formal presentations, just of like the packaging and everything, and the white cases. I really like Arrow. Mm-hmm. But dude, I can't keep blind buying stuff because, well, you kind of said Scared Stiff wasn't good, but I was like, well, Piz kind of had a smile on his face in the review, so I'm just gonna go for it. And it was boring as hell. It was pretty. Obviously, Deep Red was fantastic. But it was funny. I was asking Drew. His channel name's it's not Devon Graham, but his name's Drew. I was asking Drew about the Initiation, and he said he loved it. And then I saw Piz, you reviewed it, which you more or less put it over. You said you had some issues, but you liked it. So I'm probably going to order the Initiation tomorrow. So
yeah, that's one that I want to like more than I do. It's got that early 80s slasher movie vibe that I just love and I just go back to like a drug. And it's got some good moments. I don't remember exactly why it kind of doesn't land for me totally, but I wouldn't tell you not to check it out. That's for sure.
I just love the fact that we have all of these companies that are catering to the physical media collector, especially in a day and an age where digital and everyone's buying, with everything through streaming. The fact that we can have the Scream Factories and the Arrow and whatnot, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those 4K Blue Underground remasters, man, that Maniac it's probably one of my favorite pieces of anything that I own is that 4K remaster of Maniac. So awesome.
Mm-hmm. Maniac's good.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you guys this regarding these companies. Do you think that they will adapt 4K UHD? Because the ones that have put out great releases, like I just watched the Suspiria from Synapse and it was incredible.
That's a good point.
The problem is it's so expensive that you need a title as big as Suspiria to pull it off financially.
I heard that Hannibal 4K didn't do so well. It was a great remaster, but I don't think it sold well.
Yeah, it's hard. It's title specific, but you have to get something that's going to move a lot of pieces.
Well, but
which company is releasing the new Dawn of the Dead?
Second Sight.
Okay.
Wait, what's this?
And I know that's been tough because Richard Rubenstein doesn't want to budge. He wants so much money for the release of it.
When does that come out?
It's sometime next year.
Early 2020, I've heard. Yeah. Like maybe February 2020 is what I've heard. Well, see, it's not just Dawn of the Dead. It's also Martin.
Yeah, and Martin, fantastic.
Oh, and those were that Second Sight is a UK company, but these are going to be all region releases. So they've bought the exclusive rights from Richard Rubenstein. So they've shelled out some big bucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For those two releases.
Well, that the Dawn of the Dead release that came out in 2004, that the Ultimate Edition, it's the 4-disc.
Mm-hmm.
If you just get that with the update, I mean, all the special features on there are amazing. And with a lot of people passing away now, with George Romero being gone, you're not really going to get. I don't know how much more you can get that's going to be updated.
Yeah.
So it's going to be curious to see what they poured over and what they do.
They did record a lot of new features, though. Like they were posting updates of the interviews and stuff they were getting.
Hey, the more the merrier. That's after Jaws, Dawn is my favorite horror movie. So as much as they want to pump out, I'll buy whatever it is.
I can see a lot of these distributors doing 4K transfers, but maybe not dedicated 4K UHD releases. Kind of like what the Blue Underground releases are. They're 4K transfers, but they're not dedicated 4K releases. But then Lauren, you've got Vinegar Syndrome completely going against the grain of what you just said, and they're releasing Tammy and the T-Rex on 4K. Now that is a movie with a very small but dedicated cult. I like the movie a lot. I definitely want to get the movie on 4K just to say that, because who ever would have thought of all the movies that are not on 4K today, Tammy and the T-Rex would be on 4K UHD. I mean, I applaud Vinegar Syndrome for doing that alone.
Yeah, it's a huge stunt, though. It's a huge stunt. I mean, this disc is going to sell on release day really well, and that's going to be everyone who wants it. So, I mean, I don't know how many titles can even do that.
Well, they're probably going to limit it. I think a lot of these companies, what they do too, is if they do put out like a big release like that, they limit it. That way they can jack up the price a little bit more. And because it's quote unquote limited, it makes it more sought after.
Yep.
So the other wrinkle. Sorry. Go ahead. Stone. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say real quick, I think the big Twilight time I know when people think of Twilight time, they think of when they released the Night of the Living Dead remake, which was a very controversial release, and they only put out like 3,000 copies for all their releases.
I love Twilight Time. They released The Other, which I think is one of the great hidden gems of like quiet horror. But the other wrinkle here is that it really looks like Sony are going to discontinue their 4K player probably in first quarter. So that leaves us without two big players who introduced the format.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but we are closer to the end of physical media than any of us realize at this point.
So scary. I hate it. Unless there's a big seismic shift, if, say, Voodoo goes out of business and everyone who spent money loses that money and everyone rushes back to physical media, it would take something like that to happen to keep the field alive. But right now, I mean, in the last 5 years, the physical media that's sold for movies has cut in half. And it's accelerating. There is a point where it simply costs more to produce the discs than you're going to sell. And even if you are making a slight profit, what business is in business to make a slight profit?
Right.
These boutique labels are getting away with it because the horror has a very specific audience. But what happens when all the other genres fade out? Does anyone think that horror is going to survive then as a physical medium? It doesn't really work that way. You need a bigger base than just one genre releasing what? Most of these companies are releasing, 12 films a year? You can't keep a company floating for that. So, unfortunately, I mean, I support everything you want. Definitely pick up everything you want so you have it. But it's looking bleak.
Yeah, I always worry how long before Scream Factory and Arrow and stuff, how long before they burn out? I would think Scream Factory would have to adapt soon and start grabbing new movies. Picking up independent titles that come out. I'm sure they do, but I would probably start getting a better foothold on that. Because eventually we're going to start putting out some real duds, or they're just going to run out of. They're going to run out of movies sooner rather than later.
Well, they pretty much depleted the MGM vault, and now they made some kind of deal with Paramount. Now they've got a bunch of Paramount titles. That's why they're able to release My Bloody Valentine and April Fool's Day. So maybe after Paramount, who else can we get? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But Paramount's got a pretty big library.
We're going on what, 9 years? Not 9 years. How many years is Scream Factory now? I mean, that's a lot of titles they put out.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like they kind of stepped in where Anchor Bay fell off.
Yeah.
The same people.
Oh, is it? I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that. Yeah, I really miss those days. Like, I would buy anything that had an Anchor Bay.
Same here.
If you saw that, if I saw that little clipper ship on the spine of a DVD, I was like, okay, that's the stamp of approval. That's the stamp of approval.
But we're also getting to a point where, the rights holders are not going to need a distributor to get to license to streaming. So the whole concept of a independent distributor may be an outdated concept very shortly.
Right.
I think you're right. I mean, at some point we'll be seeing like a kitschy kind of physical release for certain movies, kind of like how they used to do with like some movies getting a VHS release at some point, like House of the Devil, when they do like a special edition with a VHS. It'll almost be kind of like that to get a physical release on them.
Right. Are you guys fans of any other Blu-ray distributors?
Dude, I love the Vestron. Label.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh. They got wise. They were like, screw Scream Factory, guys. Let's just put this shit out ourselves and just hit them up. Let's knock them out one by one. I wanted to put them out more titles. Where are they? They haven't put anything out in a while.
They released a statement on social media saying that they apologized for the downtime. They've got stuff in the works, and they're going to start making announcements soon.
Piz, where's my Dolly Dearest? Where's my Rumpelstiltskin? Like, where are these Blu-rays? Why are y'all laughing at me? Piz, hold on, Piz, you tell him Dolly Dearest is the baddest bitch on the planet.
I don't remember Dolly Dearest.
Hands down, Dolly Dearest is fucking terrifying. I still won't rewatch
Dude, Piz, Dolly Dearest is scary, and I love Rumpelstiltskin. Kevin Yeager, come on.
I remember Rumpelstiltskin. I remember.
I want to see Pinocchio's Revenge.
I remember that's the title I was looking for. I knew it was Pinocchio something. Pinocchio's Revenge.
Yeah,
I remember
so
those.
many. Yeah, but I like the Vestron label. It's like they were like, you know what? I'm sure they were approached by Scream Factory Piz, right? I'm sure they were, and they were like, yeah, we'll let you know. And then like, all right, guys, start printing them, remaster. Let's go, let's crank these out.
They did Shopping Mall, didn't they?
They did.
That was like the first
Vestron
one.
did that.
Yeah.
That and Blood Diner came out.
Blood Diner.
Hopefully they'll have a whole big slew of new releases they announce soon, and I really hope Fright Night 2 is one of them. That movie is way too long. It's just way too long.
You got all these
out of
companies;
print.
they don't amount to jack shit.
Piz, would you agree though that the reason I would say the Vestron label was fairly successful is because they did it right. They didn't just say, okay, let's just make it a Blu-ray. It's never been out. Let's go the extra mile. Let's get the people from Chud 2. Let's get the people from Return Limited 3. Let's get these interviews. Let's do this by the books. Would you agree that's why they've been fairly successful?
Well, yeah, and I mean they've released a lot of good titles that people have really wanted, and they've made good quality releases. So.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd see a Slaughter High Blu-ray. I mean, I'm glad I did, but I never.
Dude,
thought
talk about a remaster. I got those Walmart triple packs. They're black. The screen is black. You can't even see anything on them.
Yeah.
I just have a problem with the price tag on the Vestron titles.
They are pricey.
I love Chopping Mall, but is it a $30 title? It never was.
Yeah. See, I was like,
damn right it is, Lauren. Come on, dude. That's the Terminator.
Christian, I love you, man, but you're leaving the children astray here.
Come on, dude. Lauren. Okay, Lauren. Chopping Mall or Terminator Dark Fate?
Fuck, man. You can compare Chopping Mall versus Terminator 2, and I'm going to say Chopping Mall.
Oh,
that's
my
not the point.
Hey, I'm not going to argue you, man. I'm with you.
I wouldn't pay
dude.
$5 for T2.
I'm with you, dude. Fuck Terminator 2. It's all about that Chopping Mall. Where you at, Piz? Where you at, Piz?
Well, look. I love Chopping Mall. That was a really good release. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you've got the $30 and it's not going to break the bank, go for it. You only live once. You know what I mean? At least live with good entertainment. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
Hey, if you got the $100, grab that little bag of blow. Don't worry about it. You buy that Chopping Mall.
Hey, you only live once, right? Go for it, man.
You only live once.
Oh, Jesus. It's hard for me to pick just one because I love Scream Factory. I love Arrow. I love Vinegar Syndrome. I love Severin. Severin does a lot of great movies too, and they roll out the red carpet for them.
Yes, I'm shopping with them for Black Friday.
Yeah, you're getting the Gwendolyn release.
Yep, Perils of Gwendolyn and the Land of the Yik Yak. Oh, the most superb movie of the 1980s, period.
Someday we have to compare notes on it because I want you to clear up a few plot points for me.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be happy to. Absolutely. But I'm also going to buy from them The Changeling with George C. Scott, which they released last year. That is a horror classic.
That's a great movie, and that's a really good release, too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get it.
You know what I like? I like what the Ronin Flicks does with like the Code Red and Scorpion releasing stuff.
Yeah,
I really love what they did for Opera. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got that. I've just not had a chance to watch it yet.
So good.
They did a good job with this last release of Just Before Dawn too. I thought.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite? I know your channel is very Blu-ray centric. What are some of your favorite distributors?
Yeah, like I said, I like what they do. I'm really getting into Arrow a lot more because since I just went region free, I can kind of grab whatever now. So expanding that, I've got a buttload of Scream Factors, obviously. A lot of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff I'm actually not familiar with really, but hopefully with this sale on Black Friday, I'll grab a bunch. Like I really want to check out that Unmasked 25 movie. So that and possibly the Amityville box set.
I've heard really good things about that Amityville box set. I know Christian picked it up.
The Hellraiser Scarlet box set by Arrow was fantastic.
I didn't pick it up, I'm not hearing good stuff. I mean, I hear good stuff about Dollhouse, but I'm like, hey, how is it? I'm not gonna watch these. I just bought it for the house. You know, like that's seriously some of the shit I've heard. I hope they're good. I need to find somebody I know to buy it. Like, Piz, buy the damn thing already. You got enough patrons, buy it, and then watch them and then review it.
I thought you bought the Amityville.
What happened was I asked you about it, and then I went on the website, and then I saw Ice Cream Man, and that's why I went and bought that instead. I was like, hell no, because I saw you review it, and I was like, I'm getting the Ice Cream Man. I'm getting the Ice Cream Man, and so I got a little inquisitive about the Amityvilles, and I want the movies. I want a little bit of validation before I buy them. They could be really good. Now I love the first two. I bought that Scream Factory set. Adore the first two. But how many of them can be good? You know what I mean? Like, how many of them can really be good?
Christian, spoilers, none. Not a single
one.
You know.
Let me.
I'm not kidding. They're not good.
I'm on Vinegar Syndrome's website right now. Let me throw you some recommendations out. There's nothing.
Liquid Sky.
There's Liquid Sky would be a good one.
I love Liquid Sky.
Yep,
yes,
that would be a good one. There's Nothing Out There is a really good release. The Cutting Class release is a really good release. Let's see.
How about Left House on the Left?
Well, yeah, that's an Arrow release. That was a really that last release they did for it was phenomenal.
Yes,
phenomenal.
I have it.
Vinegar Syndrome have
and everything.
Yeah,
Vinegar Syndrome have a series of discs they call 5 Films in 5 Years.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I believe, 5 volumes of it as well. It's a really great value of films you probably don't know, but they're all great like drive-in Deep South exploitation classics. You will not regret those purchases.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's Ice Cream Man is still available. Ooh, they've even got Ice Cream Man still available with the slipcase, which is very nice. They've got Liquid Sky still available with the slipcase, which is very nice. I know they did the last Madman release, which was good. They did the last.
I thought that was Synapse that did Madman.
Nope, it was Vinegar. Oh, Psychocop Returns. That was a really good release.
I got a question about that, Piz. I got a question about that because I did a review of Maniac Cop, and lo and behold, when I was checking out my video, I saw the suggested you had a video about Psychocop Returns. I watched it. I was like, well, this sounds great. Piz says it's ridiculous. And I'm looking for the first one. Where is it? Is this a joke? Is there not a Psycho Cop? Or what's going on with
there?
that?
There is a Psycho Cop. It's just not. It's for some reason it's not been released on DVD or Blu-ray officially in the States, at least.
Do I need to see the first one?
It's on. Yes.
Oh yeah, you'll be totally lost without it.
It is. It is Psycho Cop. The first Psycho Cop is one of my favorite bad movies. It's available. It's on YouTube and it's full. Oh, it's on Amazon Prime right now too. So it's available. The Jack Frost Vinegar Syndrome release is good. The Christmas Evil release they did was really good too. There's Nothing in the Woods. That was a really good. They've just done a ton of good releases.
Yeah. See, Piz, this is what happened to me. I go to Texas Frightmare, and I go on Sunday because I don't like people. So I go in the least crowded day. And I go up to the Arrow table, and they had some exclusive something, but it was all gone with a nice slipcover. And my wife Sydney's like, let's go to the people that do the Ice Cream Man. I was like, okay, yeah, that's Vinegar. So we go over there. Of course, I go up to the table. I said, I'll take one Ice Cream Man. And the guy says, we're all sold out. And I was like, damn. He goes, but I've got a really good movie you should try. I'll give it to you for 15 instead of 20. I was like, what's that? It's called Hobgoblins. It's really good. And guys, I bring it home. Me and my wife sit down I cooked a nice chicken and rice dinner. Me and my wife sit down on the couch. We're like, let's watch Hobgoblins. I was so fucking pissed. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, it was so fucking terrible. And I'm like, I'm thinking about who the hell did a remaster on this? How do you even sit there and remaster this?
That man should win an award, salesperson of the year. Jesus.
Oh my God.
I mean, and the sad thing is Jack Frost was on the table. Like, I don't know what happened. I was under a spell. The guy is like, and here's the thing, Piz. Okay, so they stack all the movies up on top of each other. I should have realized when I saw that Hobgoblins was over 2 feet high and everything else had 1 and 2 left. I'm thinking to myself, by the time I was in the car, I felt duped. And Sydney's looking at the movie. I was like, what did we get today? Who the autographs we got? And we're like, we got this, got that movie Hobgoblins. And I was like, instant buyer's remorse. So that really put a sour taste in my mouth for Vinegar Syndrome. But it's not their fault. It's that jackass at Texas Frightmare.
That is
jackass. He's a genius.
That was a
he screwed me.
That was a very the fact that there were so many Hobgoblins and so few others. That's a good indication that was not a good movie. Also, Pierce Nightshade wants to know if you're doing your 5 mile jog right now.
I am. Oh, I'm walking because I don't want it to be too loud, and I'm muting it. But I'm out here in the woods. What's up, Lauren? I heard you call for me.
So I just want you to take credit where it's due. I mean, with your purchase of Hobgoblins, you increased the total sales from 2 to 3.
Which, dude, I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be. I feel like an idiot. I passed up so many good movies on the like movies that now I'm getting. Like I remember I was telling you, I got City of the Living Dead. All that stuff was staring me in the face. And somebody answered me this because I'm thinking about this now. Somebody had. I can't remember if it was Arrow, Severin, who it was. It said Leatherface Part 3 or Texas Chainsaw 3, and it was not.
Oh, yeah.
Leatherface. What was that?
Severin?
What is that? Because City was like, no, don't buy that. That's a trap. That's not the movie. I was like, well, what the hell is it?
Yeah, I don't. Go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, it's Night Killer. I think it was put out by Severin. It has that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 slipcover over it. I don't know the full story on it, but I heard it's a crazy movie, and a friend of mine is going to send me a copy soon, hopefully, but yeah.
I think it may have been released in some other territories as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Right.
How does that work? That's like a Sean Cunningham move. Like, let's just call it something else and sell it. No,
see what happens.
I love House 3. I mean, Piz, you saw that at the horror show with Lance Henriksen. I love that movie.
Sure.
I love that movie. But it's funny. It's like, so I got the box set from the UK from Arrow, and when Drew told me, hey dude, it's region free, I was like, oh hell yeah, so I got it. I love House 3. It's funny. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is the foreign release of it, so when I pull it up, the movie comes on and it just says the horror show, and I'm like, it's so funny. I was like, whatever. Sean Cunningham. I don't know if maybe House 2 sold well overseas, so Sean was like, oh, it's called House 3. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in order to even raise the money to make it, they had to be able to market it differently in America, because House 2 there was a huge backlash. It didn't make money first off, but there was a huge backlash in the horror community about that title. So that was never going to happen in America. There was not going to be a House 3.
Well, Lauren, answer me this. This is what's so funny to me. And it's kind of like the practices of Sean Cunningham. Although it doesn't seem so shady now, I think it's just him doing what he has to do. So I have the UK Blu-ray of it. I'm assuming what I'm getting is how it was presented back in the day. It's just called The Horror Show. There's no mention of the title House 3. And then House 4, it's called House 4 The Repossession. I put in the Blu-ray last night, which it really wasn't that great. It was another Hobgoblins. But, whatever. But it's just called
Hobgoblins, but it's not good.
Right. And it was just called House 4. They didn't even put in the name The Repossession. Like the other one was just called The Horror Show, and this one is just called House 4. And it looks like they shot it on an Atari 2600. It's the worst picture quality I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Christian, I plan on going to Texas Frightmare next year. So we should hook up and I'll buy you a beer.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, let's do it. I know Drew's going to be there. I'm trying to get Piz there. I need to see how tall he is. I hear some bitch is 7 feet.
No, what?
Hey, 7 feet, feet an inch, boy, I tell you.
7 feet.
Piz said he went up to Gunnar Hansen and had to look down at him.
Lauren stands in at a good 6'7".
How tall is Piz?
I was a little taller than Gunnar Hansen.
Piz said he went up to Gunnar Hansen, and Gunnar said, God damn.
Gunnar Hansen did say I'd make a great Leatherface. I'm like 6'4".
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Piz is, I can, from experience, I can say Piz is exactly Yeti feet tall.
So yeah, about 6'4", depending on what kind of shoes I'm wearing. I'm 6'4". So
I had
wow.
Razor Ramon go, God damn, you're a big one. You had to take the picture on his tippy toes.
I met. I
was going to work the marks.
I did meet Kevin Nash at a convention, and he wouldn't stand up with me. He made me sit down next to him.
Well, he's got bad knees.
Well, he does have very bad knees. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, dude, you're still way taller than me. You know, why are you? You know, but he does have really bad knees. My favorite one was when I met Sean Cunningham. He pulled a stepping stool out from under his table and stood on it so he could be a little bit taller next to me. So,
Piz, what do you think about Sean going to be at this next? What is he going to be at Spooky Con, whatever the hell it's called? Do you think anybody's going to call him out because Adam Marcus is running his mouth, and I'm not saying he's wrong at all. You know, he's you know the story. You know, Sean's saying, oh, Adam Marcus wanted to take the hockey mask out of the movie, which Adam's argument is pretty solid. You know, he's like, what makes more sense, a first-time director doing what the producer of Friday the 13th and many other films tells me to do, or me convincing Sean to, hey, let me do this movie the way I want to.
Mask off of him.
You think anybody's going to call him out, Piz? You think, Sean just, they're not going to say nothing to him, right?
No. Nobody's going to make a scene like that, no. They've paid too much money to get in. They're not going to get kicked out or something.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe, guys. I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
And the thing is, Piz, I'm sure he'll get asked about the lawsuit, but I'm sure Sean's just going to say, I can't say nothing. I can't say anything.
He won't.
You lying prick.
If anybody asks him about it, he's just going to say he can't. He's not going to. Yeah. He's not there for that. So
we're lucky we have all these good fan films that are coming out for Friday the 13th. They have at least 3 or 4 more of these Never Hike Alone.
Yes. There's like at least 4 planned Never Hike Alone.
Yeah, well, the Never Hike in the Snow. About a month ago, I was at a convention, Spooky Empire in Tampa, and I got to talk to Tom Matthews for a bit.
That's from Grimlife Collective.
And he was telling me a bunch about some of the new stuff that they're doing, and he was giving me spoilers, and I'm kind of like,
hey, stop it,
pal. From what he told me, it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's cool.
So before everyone just attacks Sean Cunningham, please remember that we would not have. Well, first of all, Wes Craven wouldn't have had a career. So goodbye, entire Nightmare on Elm Street series. Forget and Cunningham actually filmed 2 of the major Nightmare sequences from that film, but you have to give up House. You got to give up the horror show. Steve Miner wouldn't have had a career. I mean, before you get too upset about some stupid shit he said at a time when the Friday 13th series was dead in the water and he was simply trying to get another film made. I mean, I don't know. I can't get angry at the man when he's done more good than bad. And I see.
Yeah. You're damn right, Lauren. But what about Victor? He's not wrong for what? Like, what's the deal, Lauren? I'm sure you understand this. Something about a 30-year contract on his script. Is this a law that happened?
So basically, Congress amended the copyright laws, and there's a slight Disney component to this, but I won't get into the history. But it allows the original creator of any piece of art to reclaim the original copyright to their work, no matter what license they've made, 35 years after the initial creation of the contract. But what you guys got to realize is, and I've said this a bunch of times, and Piz is probably tired as hell of hearing me say it, is it only applies to the original screenplay that Victor Miller wrote and all the intellectual property contained within it. So you have to understand, when Victor wins this, and my understanding is he has won it, we're just waiting for the court to just have written their ruling. This will change the franchise forever, because there will be different ownership for different elements of the series. And yes, deals can be made, but deals are expensive. Think about this. You're Victor Miller. What is your price tag for using what he created? What are you going to charge?
I'd try to make all the money back I didn't get.
Wait. So let me ask you this. This is how I always look at it. And this is coming from a creator. Please keep this in mind. I've signed some bad pieces of paper too. He agreed to terms. He was paid, and he has sued previously, by the way, and been awarded money previously. He keeps moving the goalposts. But here's the thing. As a Friday fan, you're either going to have a completely new backstory to Jason that has nothing to do with the series we know, and then we get to have new films made, or we'll have basically a lot more money being spent on this series, which makes them less profitable. So we may or may not get another film. But as soon as we get a film that fails at the box office, this will send the Fridays to direct to streaming or direct to video for the first time ever. it's putting the series in a very vulnerable place. Whether you like Sean or not, it's better to have all the rights lit in one place. Also, the other thing is, like, you're talking about a guy in either approaching or in his 80s. He's not going to do anything hands-on with this franchise. The only thing he'd have rights to do is remake the original film based on his original screenplay. He can't use any elements from the series that went on after him without making a deal, or he has to, license his screenplay to the people who do own the rights. Victor Miller has stalled the franchise and perhaps done it permanent damage. Now, I don't want to see more films because I want to leave all the 80s nostalgia behind and let's just get on with it with new things. But I love the Fridays, and this is really not... This is bad. This is a bad final chapter.
See, this is my confusion, because everybody. This is my main concern. To hell with the movies. I'm with you. We got plenty, But what about my toys? I gotta have my toys. You know what I mean? Like, I want my Reggie the Reckless with the red. Because I'm assuming it's stopping. Okay, so why is everybody? That's my thing. Everybody's saying that. That's what I'm wondering. And then of course a week later we get a Mrs. Voorhees from Part 3 when she jumps out the water coming out in a week, which is great, right? But is that the end? So
it's not all or nothing, right? Anything Victor originally created would have to be licensed from him. But here's the snag. He does not own the film made from his screenplay. He owns his screenplay. So he does not own the likeness of Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees, but he owns Mrs. Voorhees. So now you want to license a toy based on Mrs. Voorhees, you have to go to two separate parties to license the rights, as opposed to one party to license rights. Do you think things just got more expensive for NECA? Absolutely. Now, Jason, when we talk about the series proper, when we're talking about toys being made, we're talking about making toys of Jason. Outside a very few exceptions, right? Well, right now, there's this little gray line. No one knows if Victor's going to try and suggest that because he created Jason as a child, that he owns the adult killer. Now, the judge in the first case pretty much made it clear that he didn't think that was the case. But there's nothing stopping Victor from dropping a dime and trying to go for more rights. He could make a case legally that because he created the boy that was turned into the killer, that he owns Jason. So if you want to license the rights to make an adult Jason, you could end up getting sued for doing so, or end up collateral in another lawsuit. You don't know. People need to understand that Victor Miller made a deal to write a screenplay. At the time, he thought of it, perhaps not as work as hire, but he thought of it as a job. He's been disparaging about the series for 35 years, and so has Sean to some degree. But the truth is, he knew the contract he was signing, and it's only because the law has changed. He doesn't care about the collateral damage to fans. He doesn't. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, he left social media once all this shit, because I was friends with him. And I remember I was looking him up, and he's gone off of social media completely.
I can't believe all the goodwill there is towards him out there, and people who have sided with him on this, because they're not going to get what they want out of it.
Well, the Shelley guy who in Part 3, initially everybody chastised Victor, and then Shelley came out and was like, "No, guys, Sean's the jerk. Yeah. Victor's the nice guy. Victor's not doing anything wrong." And that's where I kind of got swayed, because look, Lauren, I will never pretend I know anything. I'm an idiot. So if you tell me something, I will believe it.
Well, it's not. So Victor has every right to do what he's doing. The law says he can retain his copyright, but what that does to the series. Well, you're seeing what it's done to the series. So you have to decide as a fan which is the greater damage. I don't know. Do you think writing a screenplay that by his own admission took him 30 days to write, and by his own admission, significant portions were not used, including some of the most iconic scenes? His screenplay, The Long Night at the Camp Blood, ends with all the bodies of the dead counselors hanging from a tree. There's significant differences between what he wrote and what ended up on screen. It was a collaborative process. But whatever. I mean, the law says that he has a right to regain the copyright. I'm not. So from Shelley, I'm blanking on the name of the actor at the moment.
Larry Zerner.
Yeah, Larry Zerner's. From Larry Zerner's point of view as a lawyer, he's right. And as a lawyer, he can't misrepresent the law. That would be a problem for him. So from a legal standpoint, he's right. But what Victor has done has a cost associated with it. Now, if you don't want more video game stuff, if you don't want more action figures, if you don't want more films, then maybe you don't care. But
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Oh,
It's
video
just a
games,
shame.
DOA. So.
Like, why couldn't it, Lauren? Would you have rather this happen Halloween? That was a serious question.
It's a loaded.
No, I know. It's just a different monster, right? Because I don't disagree with the intent of the law. For instance, if Disney licensed something that you created independently, in 35 years, you should have another chance to sell that to someone else. I can understand that. The problem is when you talk about existing derivative works. So in other words, how muddy do things get when you have a long-running series about who owns what? Who created Jason as an adult killer? It's a good question, right? Tommy Jarvis as a character has appeared in 3 films. Well, 3 different writers built on that character, and they're very distinct.
I think
so who owns what rights?
I think they should give the entire series to the estate of Danny Steinman and just let it go.
There you go.
And we're all fucked.
No, then we're going to get some real good movies.
We're going to get a Roy movie.
But you this is not the first time that Victor Miller has sued Sean Cunningham to get money out of the series, and Sean Cunningham has paid him in the past. I think at least more than once. So I mean, it's not the first time, but anyway, it's it is what it's going to be, and I don't know, maybe I don't know. I've got my Mrs. Voorhees figure, so I'm good. I don't know about the rest of it.
Don't rub it in, Piz.
Old selfish Piz. Only thinking about himself.
I got mine.
Piz, you're going to get the part 3, right?
What's that?
You're going to get the part 3 coming out this week, huh? The dead Mrs. Voorhees? I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I hate that sequence in the movie.
It's a masterpiece, Lauren.
So
it's the greatest scene in history.
It's retarded.
It is. It really is.
I don't mind it. It's all of part 3 just has, I don't know. I have issues with part
dumbness.
3.
Yes, it has dumbness.
I think they were far more invested in getting the 3D elements right than anything else. So I mean,
yes, it is slower than the others.
I was actually watching that movie last night in 3D for the first time. I'd never watched it.
Oh,
that way. It was
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, did anybody have any particular Blu-ray distributor that they wanted to shout out as a favorite before we move on? I can't put over just one because Arrow's killing it, Scream Factory's killing it, Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, all of them are just doing really good work. So, somebody in the chat did ask if we had any specific upcoming Blu-ray releases that we were looking forward to. I could not find that person's name, so I apologize. Games.
That Dawn of the Dead release, I definitely want to check out.
Dawn of the Dead release, exactly. Anybody else?
RoboCop, Arrow Video.
Oh
yes.
Oh,
I'm definitely interested in that.
Christian.
Yes, definitely interested in that.
Christian, can you see me, Christian?
I see you, Piz.
Can you see me, Christian?
Oh shit.
Put it away, Piz. Let it be a surprise, Piz. Let it be a surprise.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch the video. I'm gonna click like. I'm gonna watch the video. I'm gonna let the ads play. Piz, that's how I became a $1 patron, dude. I watched one of your videos and you said at the end, join the $1 a month club, and I said I'd buy that for $1. That's what I done.
I appreciate that.
True.
I appreciate that.
Piz, you better love that. If you start the review and say, no, I'm not a massive fan of RoboCop, I will flip my computer. I'm gonna flip it.
Everybody knows that the definitive RoboCop is RoboCop 3.
Piz.
That's the best.
Piz, you playing, Piz. You messing around, Piz.
That was Fred Decker, yeah. That was Fred Decker.
For a while it was.
Because we all love Connell Cochran in the hot tub in RoboCop 2, right?
Oh, of course.
That had to have been the easiest job for him. Like, hey, Dan, just get in this hot tub, man. I'm going to give you your sheet. Just read your lines. We're going to come in. We're going to film it.
Let's see. Jerry L says he's excited for the new Silver Bullet Blu-ray release. Yeah.
Corey film.
I think it's a Corey film, so Lauren is salivating just thinking about it.
Fuck that.
And we talked about the Scream Factory, My Bloody Valentine, and April Fool's Day releases. Those are ones I'm really looking forward to.
Did you pre-order the Summer Party Massacre figure?
No, I didn't because I
didn't either.
I'm so happy that there's a Russ Thorne figure out there in the world. I just didn't want to. I don't know.
Vince, what about the? I know I'm excited for the Fly box set. Lauren, I've been meaning to ask you, what should I expect with those old films? Do you like any of those old Fly movies?
I love the old Fly movies. The Curse of the Fly is actually my favorite of all of them.
Yeah,
it's not if you've never seen it, it's nothing like any other Fly movie at all. It's not what you're thinking at all. It's about the kids, and it's just bizarre.
I'm excited.
They're all pretty good. I think I watched them all when what's the company Via Vision released like a box set a couple of years ago, and I got a hold of it. And they're all good. They're all good. I even like the Fly sequel that everybody with
Did Fly to Me Bad?
Yeah,
Eric Stoltz.
It's Eric Stoltz. Yeah, I like that one. I like that movie.
I watched a documentary about The Fly too, and it was like I thought it was pretty good. Some of the special effects in that movie are really kick-ass.
Yeah. I've liked that movie since I was a kid. Stephen LaPierre says the Suspiria 4K release. Anybody else pick up the Suspiria 4K release?
Yeah, I got a review of it on my channel. If anybody wants to know some specs about it, it's 5 out of 5 for sure.
Okay. All right. Check out the Hey Isn't That Devin Graham YouTube channel. Yeah, I've got, mine was supposed to be delivered today, but seasonal UPS drivers took it to somebody else's house.
That makes sense.
And
that happened to me too. that happened to me too.
Really?
Yes. They gave it to someone named Jeffrey, and I just happened to be Jeff too. And he lives next door.
Well, here's the thing.
That was weird.
They took it to somebody with the last name of Cox. That's not my last name. That's not the last name that's on the
just what he likes
envelope. It's some like I know all my neighbors. There's nobody around here with that last name. I don't know where this guy took this Blu-ray. But I had to call you. Yeah, I had to call UPS, and they were like, we'll send him back out to get it then."
This is my question.
That's what happened to me. I had to go over there.
Piz, you have to get pissed off about that kind of stuff. You always seem so nice and happy. You have got to just get really pissed when that happens. Like I want to see a piss owl.
You have to do a rant in your review for this one.
I will. Really,
my favorite ones are whenever you get those boxes that are smashed. They already held you.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
He's passive Piz in the videos. I could tell Piz is mad, but he's like, I want to give it up to the USPS team for this one.
It was UPS, and they had delivered something. I don't remember what. Here it is. It was supposed to be signed for. So the delivery driver, he walked up to the door. He didn't knock. He didn't ring the doorbell. He turned around and walked back to his truck and left.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, oh, the UPS guy's here. And I went to the porch, and there's nothing there. And there's a sign on the door that said, "We missed you. You weren't home." So I called UPS, and I talked to this very nice lady. And she was like, "Well, sir, we got in touch with the driver. We'll have it there tomorrow." I said, "Unacceptable." And I threw a few 4-letter words out there to her. She was a very nice lady, but I was very pissed off. Because the driver walked up to the door and literally turned around and walked back. Didn't ring the doorbell, didn't knock, nothing. And there were 2 cars in the driveway.
Piz, you don't know how lucky you have it. If you lived up by Stone or I, let me tell you, your experience would have been different. First of all, the delivery person would have stolen the product. Okay?
Yeah, you're right about that.
And then when you called to find out about it, they would have hung up on you 3 times and then told you off and sent someone to break into your house.
Correct.
That's how it works up here. So just don't even worry about your little redirected package, okay?
Well, when I first moved to where I live now,
New Jersey, baby,
I had a lot of
New York.
busted packages. But they found that the mailman was opening people's packages hoping to find medication.
Drugs.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on over there?
So he got fired. They hired on a woman who, it doesn't matter how big your mailbox was versus how big the package is going in the mailbox. She was not getting out of her car to walk to your door for any reason.
No.
Literally. One day I could not get the box out of the mailbox. I don't know how she got it in there in the first place. I had to take my knife out and cut around the box to pull out what was inside so that I could break down the box so I could just rip the box out. Literally. I used to call her Lazy Stacy. And I would
we all know Lazy Stacy.
Listen. I've had it out with my local post office. I had it out with UPS that day. Today, I was just very chill about it because I was like, she said, honey, I'm so sorry. We'll get it there tomorrow. I said, you're telling me you can't bring it today, honey? He's already back at the main base, and the driver.
Well, shoot him right back
and I said, that's fine.
Fizz, you ever seen Funny Farm, dude? You ever seen the movie Funny Farm?
Long time ago.
Chevy Chase.
The mailman in Funny Farm is basically your UPS guy. Chevy had to get a giant rock and try to throw it in front of the truck to try to stop the mailman because he was not stopped. He would throw the mail out, would not even stop. Check that movie out. That's a good movie, dude. That makes me think of that. Makes me think of that.
Fizz.
Yes.
I am getting a Silent Night, Deadly Night sweatshirt from it's called Cavity Colors.
Cavity Colors.
Yes. I'm getting it in the mail, hopefully. It's green.
Okay.
It should be pretty cool. I don't know, I figured I'd tell you that.
You should send it to Eric Freeman to have it autographed, man.
Really? Oh, I can do that?
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw his little I saw your post about it, and I saw those little trash cans he sells. I was like, I gotta get one of those.
Dude, hold on.
What?
Just to let everybody know, on January 28th, along with the Slumber Party Massacre Steelbook, we're also getting Eric Red's Body Parts on Blu-ray.
I love Body Parts.
And Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Yeah.
1971. Yep.
Here is...
Oh my
fucking awesome.
It's garbage day.
Dude, I gotta watch that again. I'm gonna watch that tonight. It's been so long.
So where do I get my small garbage day garbage can? Where do I get that at?
Go to ERicFreeman.com. He's got them up there. He's got them really at ridiculous. I've tried to tell him raise the price. Because I mean he's got these listed at like ridiculous prices.
Mine is the first one though. Yeah,
the first one. Okay.
Yeah, either way.
Okay,
Either
cool.
way, I guess.
He would sign it for you.
That's cool.
I don't.
Signed with message for $46.
Yes.
Dude, he had a pretty good line.
And let me tell you.
He will say anything you want.
And let me
put it on paper, and he will say.
Literally, if you do buy one of these from him, he will put all kinds of stuff inside here. He'll put the Christmas card inside for you.
Nice.
He'll probably throw a shirt in there for you. He throws a bunch of extra stuff in here when he sells one of these.
Oh yeah, totally fine.
Dude, he had a pretty good line at Texas Frightmare. I was surprised. A lot of these guys are in some of these smaller movies like that. The cult followings. It's like they're just growing and growing. That dude's dressed up as Santa. It's getting his line.
He did not want to start doing conventions. I had to talk him into it really hard to get him to do conventions.
Was it a thing of he didn't realize that he had a fan base, or was it like he was scared of being embarrassed not having a line?
He knew that there was a fan base, but he didn't think there was. He didn't. I don't think he wanted to put himself out there. I don't think he knew quite what to expect. Honestly, a part of it too was like, I don't want to he didn't want to prostitute himself really. He was like, I don't. He was like, I don't. Feeling bad about charging people to meet him.
He's not wrong about that, Piz. I'm gonna tell you, dude. Rest in peace, because I actually saw Steve Dash at Texas Frightmare right before he passed, and you could tell these guys, dude, they do this stuff a lot. Mm-hmm. Steve Dash not having a line can only mean that everybody's already met him.
Yeah,
because it's Steve Dash, for God's sakes. Now Ted White had a line still, and he was the longest line I had to wait for. But he also doesn't come to Texas a lot. But I mean, some of these guys, you could tell, like, this is how they make money. The hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw Massacre basically lives at the Dallas airport because he is there in the same spot every year.
Ted White's a crotchety old man. He's the type of guy you go to see every time just to hear him talk.
He was surreal meeting because I didn't realize how big he was, and I got to talk to him about John Wayne. Just a really nice guy. That was my bucket list because that's the greatest Jason to me, always and forever.
Yeah,
hands down.
He's an underrated Jason for sure.
He turns 94 in January,
and he's a big. He does. I mean, he's a big, strong-looking dude, man. I mean, yeah,
especially with some of these folks getting a lot older. You never know if it's going to be a lot. I actually last month when I went, I got a chance to meet Marilyn Eastman. Now, if you don't know who that is,
Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, I'm actually friends with her granddaughter, and she was the one who told me she was going to be there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So meeting her was wonderful. She's this little old lady. She brought in the trowel, so we took pictures with the trowel. She couldn't stop hugging and giving me kisses. She has that grandmother vibe, and she's wonderful. So it was really nice meeting her.
That's awesome.
You can tell sometimes when you meet some of these folks. I don't know how often you guys go to these conventions, but sometimes there are people there who don't want to be there, and they're just there for a quick buck and leave. But but you get these other people, someone like her, who are there because they love it, and they really have a good time interacting with all of us and the fans. And she was one of them. And it was great. When you have that opportunity, I got a chance to meet George Romero 2 years before he passed, and that was my number one on my bucket list.
Yeah, mine.
Oh, wow.
I got there early, and there was only one other person at his booth, so I got a chance to talk with him for probably a little bit longer than most would have. And a very respectful man and gentleman, and got to strike while the iron's hot. I saw Clive Barker too. That's another one who I got a chance to meet, and he's not in the best of health, so
yeah.
He's going to be at Texas Frightmare next year.
Gotta grab it.
He was supposed to be there last year. The sucker's got like ongoing bronchitis. Like, I don't know if he just smokes cigarettes all the time, but he's always sick. And he talks like this. He sounds like he's been smoking 30 packs of cigarettes for years.
Well, I know something happened during
how you get to sound like
dental surgery with him, and he ended up getting like toxic shock syndrome. And, and that's not good. But got to give him credit. He's still trying to get out there. So.
Oh yeah. I need to meet him, man. I got to take a piss by Charles Band in the urinal. That was pretty funny.
Well, you beat my story.
Charles Band is a slick son of a gun. He has done some shady shit, and I love Charles for that. I do. I mean, the sucker was reprinting Wizard video big boxes and telling people, "Hey, these are original. I just got them in a warehouse." Like, I don't hate the player. I hate the game. If you really buy one and think it's an original, you're a jackass.
Well, it wasn't just that. He was selling them for crazy money too.
Oh yeah, and then he was signing them for $5 more. Like, the bastard. But I love Charles, but when he's at Texas Frightmare, like, he doesn't stand behind his booth. He's got his people that run his booth, and he is always like, you'll see him walk around for a second, then he's gone. But he always looks like he's like avoiding somebody. When I see him at Texas, I went up to him because I took a buddy, and he was so scared. He was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "This is Charles Band. I'm going to say hi." And I go up to him and go, "Hey, Charles." And he looked at me like I was about to knock his ass out. I'm like, "No, dude." I was like, "No, dude. I just want to shake your hand. I'm a fan." "Oh, yeah." And then he took off. Like, I said, "How you doing, man? It's good to see you." And he's like, I'm good. I turned around, and he was gone. Like, he just disappears.
Charles Band is a
funny
damn
stuff.
pickpocket.
He could be. That's yeah.
And Piz, I know you said you had not the most pleasant experience with Tom Savini, but I gotta say, dude, he was one of the nicest guys I ever met. He was so nice to me.
Most people do not have positive experiences with him, and every now and again you hear somebody who says, "Oh, he was great." So I don't know if I don't know, but most people do not have very positive experiences with him.
You met
Young
Feldman,
ladies
right?
tend to have great experiences with him.
What
You
was
met
that?
Feldman, didn't you? Didn't you say you met Feldman? He shook his hand with a glove on or something?
I met Feldman twice. The first time I met him, it was a really nice experience. I guess it depends on how he's dressed. Because the first time I met him, he was dressed just just normal shirt, normal jeans, normal haircut, no gloves on. You know, he was like, you know, shake your hand. What's your name? You know, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Lost Boys, and yeah, he said something to me about what did he say about the Lost Boys? I don't even remember, but he, very, very cordial, very nice, thank you for being a fan. God bless you. Love you. You know what I mean? And then the next time I saw him, he was going to Michael Jackson look-alike, he had the black hair with the little piece of black hair hanging down. He had the leather gloves on, he had the whole get up on like Michael Jackson. And I walked up to the table and I'm like, hello. And he reaches out his gloved hand and looks away. Shakes my hand, doesn't even look at me. He didn't look at me at all. He's like, Well, another funny story. I sat in on a Q&A with it was Savini, Feldman, and Ted White. And Ted White starts talking about how much he hated the little kid in Friday the 13th Part 4 and how he wanted to kill the little kid in Friday the 13th Part 4. And I don't know if it ever dawned on him that little kid was a grown man now sitting directly next to him. But his whole thing was how much he hated the little kid in Friday the 13th.
He probably did.
Dude, God bless Ted White. God, we can't lose Ted. I know he's old. We can't lose him. He's such a real dude.
He ain't going nowhere.
Warrington Gillette showing up at conventions now.
Well, that's because Steve Dash is dead.
Yeah.
You gonna go meet Warrington? He did a cool scene in Part 2, Piz.
I had a bathroom encounter with Warrington Gillette like you had with Charles Band.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I was at a urinal and he parked right next to me at a urinal, and I had all this crap with me like on my shoulder, shirts and all this stuff, and he just like looks right at me and he goes, "Are you having fun?" Yeah, having a good time.
Then he asked if you want to have a better time.
No, thank God he didn't. But he was like, he goes, have you been to my table yet? Have you seen me? I said, no. He goes, well, come on by. We'll see. And I mean, he was like looking at me the whole time he was doing this. I mean, I'm like, dude, wait till we're out of the, it was just kind of odd. I guess he didn't mean anything by it, but I mean, it's like, I didn't.
To have played that role like the entire movie until Steve Dash came out, like in the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. He told Steve Dash had no idea that any of this was going on. He was telling people he had done the whole thing for years, and then Steve Dash found out about it, and Warrington Gillette got told by Steve Dash. And apparently Warrington Gillette blamed, he said he had a head injury at one point. And he couldn't, I
have brain damage. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember not only doing one scene in the movie and nothing.
Yeah.
I could have sworn.
That's what, was it Tony Moran, right? Who does just the face in the original Halloween. He was at the convention I was at, and everyone was saying, oh, that's the guy that played Michael Myers in the original movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But Gillette disappeared from the convention scene for a long time, and I mean, I knew he would come back now that Steve Dash isn't there, and he's back. So
I wonder if he's still making the same claim.
Maybe we should chase him off.
I don't think so. Surely he can't still be saying that.
I remember seeing him in the documentary. His name was Jason, before Crystal Lake Memories came out, and he was still he never kind of came out in all the footage they have of him. He was never like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm just Jason in the one scene where you see me come through the room.
Now there was one, I don't remember which one it was, where he did kind of say, now during my scene, and he was talking about the going through the window scene. So at that point though, I think his life had been threatened by Steve Dash. So he was like, he did not want to mess with Dash. Borderline 11 says Freeman needs to start signing guns and axes. If you'll bring a convention appropriate axe, he'll sign it. He'll sign it for sure. But it was very
not for free though.
No, not for free. But I was really, because I'd talked Eric hardcore into doing this convention in Cincinnati, and I promised him. I said, "No, man, you're going to have a lot of people there from all over the country, and I mean, just your fans. These are your fans. These are the people who love you." And I went to that convention, and I was thinking, like, "Oh man, I hope he's got a lot. I hope some people, because I mean, now I'm thinking, like, what if nobody shows up? What if nobody cares? Now he's going to hate me because I'm the one that talked him into this." And I mean, his table was loaded the whole weekend.
Does he live in this part of the country?
He lives in L.A.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah. So he was busy. He was busy the whole weekend. I was really happy because he was happy. He was busy the whole weekend.
Good for him.
Let's see. Jared Parker says, "Hi, Pizzow. How was y'all Halloween? Did you watch some good movies?" I had a very good Halloween. It was a very cold Halloween here in Kentucky. I watched Halloween 2 with my girlfriend, and that was it. We were gonna watch
which Halloween 2?
Which one?
I mean, we gotta.
Not the Rob Zombie version.
Not the Rob Zombie.
No.
We were gonna watch The Burning afterwards, but we were just like, whatever. So we watched. Go ahead, man.
And it was raining on Halloween.
I watched Joe Bob's Halloween special.
Nice.
Dude, that was awesome. I watched it too.
The Hootenanny.
I decided
Halloween Hootenanny.
Halloween Hoot.
I decided to watch Blackula and Scream Blackula Scream for the first time. Double feature.
See, that sounds fun. I need to do something like that.
That's good stuff.
Now, is Blackula, what is it still? Is it exploitation? Is it just a darn good movie, period? What should I expect?
It's a black exploitation.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's fun for what it is.
Yeah.
It's enjoyably dated. I mean, Pam Grier's in the second one.
I don't remember much about part 2, but part 1 is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can we expect a remake, Stone?
I think they kind of did that with Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy years ago.
Oh my God!
It didn't work. It didn't work.
No.
I forgot. That was a Wes Craven directed film, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wes Craven directed.
I think he did.
Wow.
Yes.
That was right before Scream. Yeah.
Yeah, that was during that period where Wes Craven, everyone sat there and said, well, we'll give him a pass on this one. He can't possibly do anything worse. And then a few years later, it was like, hey, My Soul to Take. Hey, Cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked Piz about that a while back. I mean, his Wes Craven's worst film, do you think it's Cursed or My Soul to Take?
Cursed. Sorry.
You think it's Cursed? Okay.
Cursed is really bad, but Cursed could have been good. Again, it's Harvey Scissorhands.
Yeah. I think Hills Have Eyes 2 is actually the worst film he did. Only because you could tell he didn't give a crap and they padded it out. And
I think that was right when he was going through a divorce, he was saying, and he just wasn't into it.
He needed money.
Well, I mean, Deadly Blessing wasn't really that good either, right?
Oh, I love Deadly Blessing.
Was it Deadly Friend? I don't
Deadly Friend with the one.
Deadly Friend is a piece of shit.
I've seen that.
Deadly Friend.
Oh, don't talk shit on Deadly Friend.
Hey, I like Serpent and the Rainbow a lot. I thought that was a great movie. That was Wes, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Wes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. And Piz, you know you love the dog in Wes Craven's Hills Have Eyes too. So don't be Piz.
Well,
come on now, Piz. Come on now.
The dog.
Piz, you need to represent. You gotta represent us, Piz.
The dog got his own flashback. So I mean,
come on, Piz.
How old is that dog? How old is that dog in that movie? Seriously.
He's probably like, there's no telling.
That is a geriatric dog by the first film's logic. So I'm figuring that dog is not jumping off any cliffs.
No Music of the Heart fans here for.
I am a Music of the Heart fan. Almost.
Wasn't that Barbara Streisand?
Meryl Streep, right?
Meryl
Streep. That's the movie.
Scream Factory presents Wes Craven film.
Most underrated film by Wes Craven is Music of the Heart.
Wes Craven's one of those guys that has those high points that you can't take away from him, But if he didn't have those pieces, we would not regard him at all because he has a lot of mediocre to bad in his filmography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but his high points are just so goddamn high.
Well, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, he made 3 films that were landmark horror movies with Last House, Nightmare, and then Scream.
Well, I thought you were going to say
So,
Hills Have Eyes over Last House.
Well, to me, Last House stands out.
My favorite '90s West is still People Under the Stairs. I just think that's a kick-ass film.
That's so much fun.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I have a big soft spot for Shocker.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, okay.
No.
Shocker felt like he was going for to be the next. He really wanted that to be a big franchise, and it just never.
Yeah.
So trying to just force the Freddy kind of thing on it.
There's a rumor that they had created Shocker toys, like Pinker toys, and like there was just like a warehouse full of Pinker toys that just went nowhere, and they're buried somewhere now or destroyed.
I'd love to get my hands on the soundtrack vinyl. I would love the Dudes of Wrath.
Oh yeah,
it's so cool with Paul Stanley and Desmond Child and Megadeth did that. I mean, I'm an Alice Cooper fan, so nobody should. That cover is so fucking horrible to me. Although I love Megadeth, it just Dave Mustaine can only sing Dave Mustaine songs. Otherwise, he sounds like a dirty rat.
I saw him, Dave Mustaine. Saw him live.
Let's hold on a second. I've got a Gibbs. We need a review of the Nightmare on Elm Street NES game. You've muted yourself somehow.
Oh, hello?
There you are.
Okay, sorry about that. I've never really played it that much. I don't remember a lot about it. It's a lot of jumping and a very subpar platformer. I think its main claim to fame was 4 people could play at once, and not so good.
I think that was the only thing they were like. We can have 4 people play this. Would one person want to play this? No, but 4 people can play it.
Yeah, share the misery.
Yeah, I rented it one time as a kid, and never again. Never.
No.
Again.
No, I think I played it once.
So yeah. Oh goodness. Jerpin, my old buddy Jerpin. Let's see, where'd that go? This shot of whiskey is for you, Piz. Thank you, Jerpin. I'll match that with a sip of water. Good old H2O.
Get some of this cucumber lime Gatorade for y'all.
Goodness gracious. Let's see, what else have we got? Yeah, I remember you had to collect Freddy's bones for something. That was just
boy.
It's a classic game, dude. I love it. I got it.
There we go.
I got some great horror video games. Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Monster Party, a great little game. I'm a closet old school gamer too. I never talk about it. Maniac Mansion. It's actually a George Lucas game, I think. Great stuff. I love all that stuff, man.
Awesome.
I love the Nightmare on Elm Street game just as much as the Friday the 13th game. I don't know. They're just so fun. I know, Piz, you got it all in the box and everything. So.
If you have Gallagher and Bubble Bobble, I'm coming over.
Oh, I got a homemade arcade machine I built. Real quick, Piz, I never get to show this off. Just really quick. There's the original Halloween Atari game, and then there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre right there.
Nice.
That is gold right there, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
In glass.
Yep. Oh, they stay in glass. So those are my pride and joys. I'm just very proud of those.
Awesome, you should be.
I don't blame you.
That's very cool. Yeah, those Texas Chainsaw Massacre Atari games are not cheap online.
No, sir.
Not cheap at all.
Terrible games. I mean, they're fun. They're fun. The Halloween one's I like the Halloween one a little bit more because the theme in the Atari is so piercing. It's so belligerent. You understand though. Another thing here, Charles Band did not give a damn. Charles Band is putting out Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the Atari back in 1982. Like, who was doing that? Nobody.
Borderline 11 says he has the Jaws NES in box. I love Jaws too.
I'm surprised. I mean, of all the horror franchises out there that's gotten video games, I'm surprised they haven't done one for The Purge yet.
Mm.
Oh,
That would be.
You would think that would sell like hotcakes.
they could
Basically, Stone, basically play Grand Theft Auto. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not a video game
Stone. Hey, Grand Theft Auto, The Purge. I mean, just license it, and put it out there. I'd play it.
Yeah, I'd play it too. Yeah, definitely.
Guys, I hate to do it. I'm about to hop off here, but it's been fun.
Hey, it's been fun, Lundy. Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out with
Absolutely.
us and talking movies, and thanks for being
It's
a
fun,
patron,
guys.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night.
Yeah, I'm finna have to kick off too. If you don't mind, Piz, I gotta take a bath and everything. Gotta do my nightly ritual.
All right, man. Go for it. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out, and thanks for being a patron, man.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. You have a good night.
You too, brother.
Have a good night, Christian.
Devon, are there any other Blu-ray releases you're looking forward to?
Let's see. Well, we already mentioned the Fly collection. That one looks pretty good. Off the top of my head, the only one because y'all were talking about earlier, I can't wait to see that movie Parasite. I'm really excited about it because I saw the trailer when I saw Dr. Sleep, and it looked really interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely towards the top of the list, best of the year, in my opinion. It was right there. That and Joker for me. It's like 1-2.
Yeah, I love Joker. That was such a great one. Has anybody seen the Rabid remake yet? Because I don't.
Yes.
How is it?
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. My expectations were so low, so that probably had something to do with it. But I thought it was solid enough. It was decent.
I'm gonna check it out when it comes out. It's coming out in the U.S. in February. So
Yeah, do you like the original?
I actually haven't seen it. I have it coming tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
That's a really good 1-2 punch with Shivers, because Rabid just feels like Shivers, but not.
I like The Brood.
Yeah, Shivers was all just in an apartment complex, and Rabid just feels like Shivers outside.
Okay.
The vibe is. Yeah.
Sweet. I'll have to put that in the list. I haven't checked that one out either.
Yeah. All those old films in the 70s, man, they just have that special feel to them. You just can't duplicate it. It's just a product of the time. It's the era.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to check out that Let's Scare Jessica to Death. I'm really excited about that one.
It's been a long time since I've seen Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
I watched it like a month ago. I've seen it, 1,000 times, it feels like. I love that movie. Again, quiet horror that's really effective, gets under your skin, takes its time to develop itself. Everything that movies don't do now.
It's slow burn, but worth it. The payoff's worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love slow burns. It was like
House of the Devil is like that too.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite, one of my favorites of the 2000s. I rented that at Redbox when it came out, just off of title, because I like, satanic horror movies, and I was blown away by it. I was like, oh my god, I didn't expect it to be this good.
Yeah,
I prefer Innkeepers to it, but both are great.
Yeah,
I liked Innkeepers too.
Yeah, that one I enjoyed that one too. Good tension.
It's Ty West, right?
Ty West, yeah.
I like The Sacrament too. That was really good.
That was really good.
Now, was that the Jim Jones style one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot too.
He doesn't do. When's the last time he came out with a movie?
He directed a movie that had a fairly big, like Ethan Hawke was in it, but like it got panned and did nothing. So actually, let's look him up here and see
was that Getaway or.
No, it was like a Western. It wasn't even a horror movie. It was a Western.
Oh.
It was called, what was it called? In the Valley of Violence, maybe? Or In a Valley of Violence? Yeah, In a Valley of Violence. It had Ethan Hawke and John Travolta in it.
Huh. Oh, speaking of John Travolta, I just found out on Twitter he wants to get an Oscar for the Netflix movie he did.
I say give it to him.
Give it to him.
I'm on board.
He's starting his own Oscar campaign for the Fanatic.
He'll probably get an award for that one. It'll be a Razzie though.
Yeah.
He'll probably be a Razzie.
And if I were him, I'd go accept it, make a speech, and thank Fred Durst, and yeah. So
Actually, it's interesting. I was looking through the Blu-ray list, and in a couple months, for the first time on Blu-ray, we're having "Look Who's Talking" from 1989. That was John Travolta's comeback movie. I mean, everybody cites Pulp Fiction, but Look Who's Talking. 7.5 million budget, $300 million.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets Look Who's Talking was this monster hit
Oh,
with Bruce Willis as the voice of the baby.
Three of those movies.
Yeah,
3 of those movies. Yeah, Look Who's Talking. Go ahead.
By the time that series ended, the dogs were talking.
Look Who's Talking Now. Yeah, Danny DeVito and Diane Keaton gave the voice of the dogs, and Look Who's Talking Now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let's
couldn't really go anywhere at that point.
No. My buddy Jan Man says, Piz, I haven't seen Edge of the Axe since I was a teenager. Not sure how it will hold up. Can't find a full download or anything of it. What say? I really like Edge of the Axe. I'm really happy that it's getting a Blu-ray release finally. And
I got that one on pre-order. I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. That one's really excited for that Blu-ray. It looks great. They've got some great cover art on it. Arrow will, I'm sure, roll out the red carpet for it. So it's a good slasher.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Another one I'm really excited about. It'll also be a first time watch for me. Is that Blue Underground's putting that 3-disc out for House by the Cemetery.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Looking forward to that one also. Absolutely.
I mean, the only classic slasher film that hasn't gotten a Blu-ray release yet is Fade to Black. I wonder when we'll ever get that. Is
there a reason? Is there rights issues, or is it music issues, or what?
I think because of the fact that there's so many references and clips to old movies, that the whole thing is like, well, we got to get the rights cleared up with all these studios and companies. That's what I understand. Dennis Christopher, the star of that movie, he wants a Blu-ray just as much as anybody. He wants to do a commentary for it. And, it's like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, Shout Factory, not Shout Factory, but Anchor Bay, they released DVD. So it makes sense that Scream Factory would do it, but nope, nothing yet. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's a good flick. I mean, it's a good. It's
a great flick.
That was Mickey Rourke's big screen debut, and
yes,
it's it's even kind of Jokerish. So I mean,
yeah,
be a good time to put it out.
Absolutely.
Jared Parker says, Pizzell, what did you think about Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell? I liked it. I actually did a review of it a month or so ago. Go check out that review. But I enjoyed it. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, as a matter of fact.
Fizz.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of In Search of Darkness?
It sounds very familiar.
I'm going to see that this weekend. It's a 4-hour documentary on 80s horror films. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm getting
the
on
documentary.
Blu-ray.
Yes.
I'm getting on Blu-ray.
I was interested in it until I saw that it was $60.
Yeah, that's the same thing that
it is.
Oh.
And I was like,
expensive. Expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I just listened to a podcast by the Retro Cinema podcast by these 2 Australians, and they interviewed him, and he chose Dennis Christopher's character from Fade to Black as the creepiest horror character of the 1980s. Just putting that out there. The director of In Search of Darkness. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
He didn't see a lot of films in the 80s. I like Fade to Black. I wouldn't call it creepy at all. I think it's a great character study, but it's not scary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think it's a scary film, Stone?
I mean, I wasn't scared by it so much as disturbed, because, I mean, the guy is such an introvert and everything, and I hate to say it, I could identify with him in some ways, but I mean, the thing with Fade to Black is that Vernon Zimmerman, who wrote and directed it, he wasn't just honoring horror films. He was also honoring non-horror films. I mean, there's a lot of references to, films like Richard Widmark's Kiss of Death, but I mean,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was referencing any outsider movie.
Pretty much,
I mean,
yes.
That's what it comes down to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the art of the antisocial.
But I'm definitely going to see In Search of Darkness $60 or not. I'll figure out a way to see it.
You can go on Vimeo. Yeah,
pretty much.
That's true.
Pretty much.
You can stream it.
Let's see. My buddy Jan Man says, Piz, Lauren, and crew, what do you guys think of 2001: A Space Odyssey, its sequel 2010, and the more recent movie Life, which takes some inspiration from 2001 and Alien? Thoughts on 2001: A Space Odyssey, its sequel, and Life, Lauren?
I like 2001. I don't watch it very often because it is an extremely slow-moving film until it's not. But it's a masterclass in filmmaking. It's just not something I can throw in just on the drop of a hat. I've only ever seen 2010 once, and although it has a faster pace, it's a less interesting movie to me. I don't know. I've never gone back to it. That probably says a lot. Life, I didn't really. I saw Life as more of a I don't know, the Blob in space, really, more than anything else. It's not bad for what it is, but it feels it's kind of going back a few conversations, a few paragraphs. When we talk about the films in the 70s and 80s, a lot of the reasons that they've had that feeling, that intensity to them, is because you didn't completely trust the filmmakers not to go off script and do something that you were genuinely going to be shocked with. Whereas now, they're never going to shock you. Even when they think they're doing something shocking, you can see it coming a million miles away, and it's all very safe. Life felt very safe to me. Even though I liked it, I didn't love it. I wouldn't even say I found it good necessarily. It's just I didn't regret watching it.
Yeah, you really hit the nail on the head with that. In Piz, you did that documentary. You did the video on the American Nightmare, the documentary.
Yeah.
And to what you just said, Lauren, John Landis doubled down on that. And he said, those movies in the 70s, the Wes Craven stuff, Tobe Hooper stuff, I think his quote was, you watch those and you weren't in the hands of a master, but you were in the hands of a maniac because you didn't really trust them. And I think that was a really good point that we made on that with those films.
And clearly you shouldn't trust Mr. Landis.
Hey, Piz, did somebody didn't somebody review Life for your website back when?
Yeah, somebody did. I don't know who that person was.
It was me.
Some strange, I don't know, some strange person said, "Hey, let me review that." And I was like, "Okay." Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I threw a Blu-ray review on there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was Alien again, but Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, the cast was good. Oh, actually, I thought the one that stole the film was I forget his name now. Deadpool. What?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. I thought it was good for what it was. It was enjoyable. You don't need to see it again, but it's worth watching once. Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like every film is worth watching once.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends on the mindset you go into it with.
Exactly.
I mean, it obviously evolves as you watch something, as your expectations change, but I don't think I've ever really regretted watching a movie. Maybe Battlefield Earth, maybe Monkey Bone, but in general, I don't regret watching movies.
You ever seen It's Pat?
Oh God!
I don't watch comedies.
Well, there's nothing funny in that movie, so you're.
Yeah, but I don't find much funny in a lot of movies that a lot of people think are funny. So I don't know.
Good point.
But no, I think that we're all lovers of cinema. I don't think any of us walk into any movie wanting it to be bad or not. I just won't go if I really am that turned off. I just won't go. Right.
Right.
But I hear you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, as time goes on, we're finding ourselves being very forgiving of films that we perhaps didn't like on their initial releases. And I think it's because, not just because we're all getting older, but because I think that cinema to a degree, is becoming kind of like Scorsese says about the Marvel films. It is losing its cinematic appeal because, again, it is getting safer and it's getting easy. I mean, now that the filmmakers can do anything they want with computers, in essence, they don't care about anything they do. It's all based on what a test audience will respond to or what that opening weekend will look like. You can't look at a film like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and think that they worried what a test audience was going to think.
Right.
Or a film or a film like Last House on the Left. You know, when Cunningham and Craven went into the woods in Connecticut, they weren't worried about what soccer moms were going to think of this movie. But that can't happen now. It just can't happen now.
Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, the movie that Sean S. Cunningham made before Friday the 13th was a soccer movie.
Yep.
Here comes the Tigers. Yeah.
Well, I think it wasn't Manny's Orphans between the two of those.
I get confused between the two. Which one was the soccer movie?
Here Comes the Tigers is the soccer movie.
Okay.
I own both of them on VHS. I have them somewhere, but I've watched each of them once a piece. They're programmers. They're not bad for what they are. They'd fit in with like 70s Disney live action Drek. I mean, yeah, that's what they were made to do.
Jerpian agrees with you, Lauren. He says, yes, Lauren, every film deserves a chance, especially License to Drive.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I heard that coming a million miles away.
Let's see, Jerry. Let's see, where'd that go? Oh, Verisimilitude says Lauren doesn't watch comedies because he's a replicant. Is this true? Are you a replicant?
I was going to do the opening scene, the interrogation scene, but I can't do it. No, I think the problem is I see how other people respond to comedies, and I don't have that response, and it frustrates me, really, to be honest, that I'm not getting what other people get out of it, so I'd rather just not go there.
You don't even have a couple of go-to comedies that you like?
I always point to the Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy, as like something that broke through to me, but there's so few of them. It's kind of shocking. I mean, not to seem crazy, but I like something like the original Smokey and the Bandit. I think there's some really funny stuff in that movie, but to get me to sit down and actually watch it is tough because I don't have the connection with the genre. Listen, I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm a horror guy. I like some action. I like some drama, and I like some films that are unclassifiable, like Glengarry Glen Ross. You know, because I'm a Mammoth mark. But I just like my drama to have stakes, and I think comedies don't have stakes, and I think that's a lot of where I just disconnect.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel very similar about comedies. There's only a couple that stand out to me, and I will tell you my favorite comedy of all time is definitely Freddy Got Fingered.
Wow.
I remember watching that and laughing my butt off.
I think it holds up as crazy as it was the first time I saw it.
When the guy gets the compound fracture and Tom Green's licking the bone sticking out of his leg, I fell on the floor laughing.
Yeah.
As far as comedies, have any of you heard of a movie called Orgasmo by the guys that made South Park?
Yeah.
I adore that movie. about a Mormon that becomes the biggest porn star in the country. Yeah. I laugh my ass off every time I watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, every single time.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, when I watched The Lawnmower Man, and at the end when he gets all crazy and he's walking around in that suit, it kind of reminded me, he looked like Trey Parker, and I thought, it's Orgasmo in a truck suit walking around. So.
I got to tell you, some of my favorite comedies are just really bad horror movies.
Yeah.
Instead of popping in, I don't know, There's Something About Mary or whatever, which, I mean, I love that movie. I love Fletch. I love The Jerk. I love I love Uncle Buck. You know what I mean? But instead of if I want to watch a good comedy, I won't watch those. I'll pop in Pieces, or I'll pop in Slugs, or just a bad horror.
Living Dead.
No, that's not. No, that one's not funny. That one's not funny.
For me, that would be like Blood Diner. That one gets me. Yeah, I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, comedy-wise, I go to My Cousin Vinny.
That's a good one.
Oh, good one. Definitely a good one. Yeah.
That is just something that I use in my daily life. I just quote.
The two Utes? The two Utes? What was that?
I work at a restaurant. So we'll have people coming in and they'll modify their order, especially with their cheeseburgers. So I'm always tempted, if I have to bring the food to the table, just to ask them if they've ever heard about the ongoing cholesterol problem in the country. Because there's that scene when he finally gets to eat grits for the first time. When you find movies that are just quotable, not just comedy, just in general, that you can constantly go back to. I don't know if you guys are like that, but just in daily life, movies just click in my mind.
Yeah.
Just real quick,
that's where I think. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, but see, that's where I think the difference. I like My Cousin Vinny too, but again, it is a comedy, but it's wrapped up in a courtroom drama.
Yes.
So it's using the existing format to really have a story. I don't really necessarily like when a film is just going for the laughs, and that's all there is to it. Something like My Cousin Vinny obviously has a lot more going on, and I think that's or Groundhog Day has a lot more going on than the jokes. You could take the jokes out, and you still have a good film. I don't know. I like things to say something. That's all.
That's why you like License to Drive so much.
That's it.
Are you guys looking forward to Bill and Ted 3 next year?
Nope.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Curious. Very curious.
I am so down for Bill and Ted Face the Music. I'm so down for it. So down.
I wish Carlin was still here for that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, they said they did not recast Rufus out of respect for Carlin's memory, which I actually absolutely agree with. So
they had an answer.
It's going to be interesting.
All you have to do is follow in Thomas the Tank Engine's footprints and just cast Ringo Starr.
I still remember the comedy he did in the 80s called Caveman.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one? Where he married Barbara Bach afterward? Lucky asshole. Damn, man.
Malek in the chat points out that Here Comes the Tigers is the Bad News Bears ripoff, and Manny's Orphans is the soccer movie.
Okay.
Glad that was cleared up. Yeah.
Pierce Nightshade wants to know what the last good book we've read. You guys read any good books lately?
The graphic novels count?
Sure.
Damaged, is that? Yeah, Batman Damaged? Or Damned?
Oh, that's a good one. Batman Damned is good.
Yeah, Damned, right. Yeah, that was really good. The artwork in it is great as well.
Yeah, art's really good.
Oh, verisimilitude. Of course I love Tommy Boy. Of course I love him.
Yes.
Yeah. Who doesn't love Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Lauren hates Tommy Boy.
Lauren, please don't tell me you hate Tommy Boy, please. Oh God!
Oh, come on! Lorne Michaels produced it. Come on.
Are you winning me over?
Yeah,
is that what's going on here?
Tell us what the last good book you read was, Lorne.
Actually, I just reread Elizabeth Massey's Barbed Wire Mothers, which is just a pretty amazing book. It's basically a big downward spiral. It's hard to describe. It is a horror novel, but it's not a supernatural horror novel, and it's a character study of a woman losing her life piece by piece, and it's also a road book. So Elizabeth Massey is one of my big heroes, and I'm not just saying that because she blurbed one of my books. She is one of my heroes, and she deserves to be as well known as anyone in the horror genre.
I was going to plug Lorne's novels, Blue Eel and Bleak December, but then he doesn't like Tommy Boy, so...
I already plugged Bleak December in the chat. That's what I'm going to read next.
Well, next?
Yeah, after The Shining.
Oh.
Yeah.
No pressure. So, well, Piz, you'd have to actually read the book first.
I know. I see. I was somebody who used to like. I used to like lay down and like to read my books before I went to bed, but now I lay down and I like open the book and I go, "Whoa," I'm just asleep.
Yeah.
So
there's a ringing endorsement.
Well, no, not because your book, because I lay down and I'm like I'm exhausted and I fall asleep. So
there we go.
Blue Eel.
Those books are available on Amazon.
They are. Or BarnesandNoble.com. Target still offers them. Walmart, they've disappeared off the... Walmart have basically disappeared most of the books off of their website.
That's odd.
Have you thought about recording them for audiobooks? Or
No one wants to hear me talk for that long.
Oh, bull butter. I want to hear you talk. Come on.
In the case of Blue Eel, I actually don't have the rights to do that. The publisher would have all the rights to do that.
Okay.
Bleak December, I could because I have a much more open deal with that book. But I don't know. If they sell enough that I have the time and energy, we'll think about it.
Okay.
That means go buy them.
Buy them.
Well, I'll buy them. Okay.
Well, guys, let's wrap it up. We've been going for over 3 hours, I think. 3 hours and 5 minutes and 30 seconds. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been fun hanging out with you guys and talking about movies and talking about just everything. And
absolutely definitely good time.
It's been so much fun. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for being patrons. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks, Gibson. I appreciate it. That channel, you are working on it. It'll happen soon.
Yes, the Obsoletionist.
The Obsoletionist can also be seen on the Sausage Factory, as can Stone Gassman. Thank you, Stone.
You're welcome.
Steak Sauce, thank you for hanging out and occasionally trolling in the chat. You're always interesting.
Anytime, Piz. Thank you.
All right on, man. And thanks for being a patron. I appreciate that. Robbie, always a pleasure. We've spoken quite a bit on Twitter and stuff in the past. But
absolutely, man.
Yeah, so thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you.
Definitely appreciate it. Lorne, even though you hate everything, but no, thanks for hanging out.
I was going to say nice things about you, Piz. I was going to say thank you for providing a platform for people who are underrepresented in the horror community, giving a street level view. But if you're just going to be mean all the time.
But yes, thanks for hanging out, Lauren. I appreciate it, man, and thank you for being a patron.
Absolutely.
Lauren can be seen on his own YouTube channel, Visited by Voices 1, and he is a member of the Sausage Factory as well. Hey, isn't that Devon? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me say it right. Hey, isn't that Devon Graham? Thank you for hanging out, man. You've got your own channel, which is called Hey, Isn't That Devon Graham?
Yeah, thanks so much for inviting me on, man. I had such a great time.
Yeah, thank you, sir, and thank you so much for being a patron. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And a big thanks to everybody who hung out in the chat and talked movies with us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Malek. Borderline 11 says Steak Sauce is the boss. He left, though. He left. Verisimilitude, Pierce Nightshade, Jerpin, you're awesome. You're always hanging out. Jerry L. Barbecue Network, big shout out to Barbecue Network. Big shout out to
Barbecue.
BBQ Network, always a pleasure. Roland 666. Let's see who else is with us here.
Christian, is he still here?
No, Christian's gone. Christian left again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, shout out to Christian. Christian's got his own channel, Christian Hannah Horror. Look him up. He's doing good stuff over there. Aaron Rodriguez, thank you. Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald. I do love Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald.
Artie Lang with that.
Love it.
Yes, Artie Lang. Joe Reese. I think I mentioned Joe Reese. But thanks, guys, for hanging out. We appreciate it. It was a lot of fun tonight. And DJ, of course, I was scrolling up the chat to see if you were still here, and you are still here. So thank you, DJ. Dave Shaw, thank you as well, sir. All right, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being patrons. We'll do this again sometime very soon, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.